Well. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. It's call-in show day, and honestly, I had to do this. These are good time. I enjoy these. Hopefully, we get some wild ones here on this Thursday afternoon, and we get buck nasty with it, preferably. Um, you know, we'll love some FSU and Miami fans. FSU fans are getting cocky, you know. And look, unfortunately, we as Florida fans, we are just. You ever seen what's his name? Bill? I can't think of it, from Blue Collar Tour, the comedian. I want to say Bill Gates, but it's not Bill. Bill something. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? From Blue Collar TV with like Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White. Bill, what was his last name? Anyways, he had a bit called a dorkfish, right? You just throw a corn dog into the bottom of the lake. Catch a dorkfish. Be involved. Thank you, FS Fanatics. Catch dorkfish. I feel like that's Florida right now, right? And then everyone else is like is the fisherman, and they're just throwing down a corn dog down there, and we're just biting at it because we're dorkfish right now. We kind of just bite at everything that's kind of that people just are out there. 247 knows it. They be just baiting the hell out of us, right? You got the guys from Roll Up just tossing around cheddar, just getting people just juiced up and fired up. And everyone's like, "Why are you guys tweeting at Florida fans?" Bro, FSU fans and Miami fans exist for 4 months out of the year. Okay? Look at Steve. Look what Steve comes on. He doesn't even run his mouth right now. You know what I mean? Those guys ain't got no fucking coconuts. Okay? They ain't calling their coaches Billy Ballsack. They got Mike Norvell out the helm. Okay? And Mario fucking Cristobal. Yeah, we got Billy fucking Ballsack. You got no cool nicknames for those guys. Okay? Nobody watches FSU and Miami are poverty schools outside of football. I mean, not even football, not even football, but they suck at everything else. Florida it just dominates. So we live year round. We got baseball, we got basketball. We're struggling in basketball with facts, right? But here's your sign. Exactly. What a time, right? What a time to be alive. Watching old Blue Collar TV with the pops on VHS. I mean, just talk about pure bliss. You know what I'm saying? There's just something about it when you clicked into VHS. And the flap folds down and you hit the big fat play button, it just felt a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of hit the right way. You know? So let's call in, guys. Let's have a great show this afternoon. We're going to talk about, obviously, the mass exodus and a few coaches. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. We got Copper Top V not feeling pretty good about it. He's saying 6-7 bowl game. And I don't like the energy. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the energy. I just don't. I'm not feeling it. Preferably, again, if you guys have you Miami fans or FSU fans, just drop the link and say you a bitch. That's it. Right? Q Lee with some more positive news here. Love seeing that. You know what I mean? Just nothing but just pure excitement. We got FS Fanatics calling in from the freight truck per usual. Over here, yeah. Giving us a call, riding dirty. I love it. How are you feeling, big guy? What's your thoughts on everything?
Real fast, I got two things. Okay. I don't have a lot of time. I actually got to work tonight. Okay, so I know. So I just want to thank you for everything that you've helped me with over the last couple of weeks with my channel. I appreciate it.
Weird. Don't make it weird,
dude. It's not weird. I just appreciate it, man.
All right, of course, Bubba.
Keep all the people out here that think this is easy. To get to Shelton's level and high top level, it's insane the amount of work that you got to do. Number two, this is not a Miami situation, okay? All Miami's coaches laterally moved or took a step down to a lesser program. These guys are going and making big money in the NFL. The schedule is easier as a coach in the NFL. They don't have to deal with high school kids like old Kermani McClain saying they're coming and then they don't come. They don't have to recruit. All they got to do is coach and win games, and then they get a long vacation time in the off season. There's no vacation time with college coaching. So why not take the pay raise? It's a smart move. Number two, Billy's going to get guys. Don't worry about it. Okay? That's all I got.
No, okay. I didn't know if you. I loved it. I was dialed in. In the words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. Okay. But relax. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. What you just said is the NFL. I mean, I think it's always had its appeal, to some guys, but I feel like for a while there, you could kind of go back and forth. Recruiting was always a factor, but now with the transfer portal, college fans are way more, I would say, buck wild and cutthroat
You're
than
not dealing
NFL
with
fans.
boosters either.
Yeah, there's that is that's a very good point. I mean, you've got, guys at the head office, but there's definitely a good old boy slash handshake club going on in college football that is sometimes hard to maneuver. And that's where I was actually talking to a good friend of mine. He's a Georgia fan, and we were talking about, hey, why is Billy over his head? It's not coaching. It's not coming in, understanding the play call, and coaching the SEC. It's managing the boosters. It's managing these big time relationships in college football. That takes a lot. That's what people don't understand, is that's where that next level comes into play of being able to handle those relationships. That's where you can get over your head, right? Because managing
Yeah.
at Louisiana, where the expectations are very low, and they're just happy to have a
And
good
he
old bowl in
was,
there, bringing them some.
yeah, he was the guy. He's walking on water over there.
Absolutely, and everybody just listens to you. But when you come into a place like Florida, where again everybody has this ego, we're the Florida Gators, and we're going to do shit right around here. It's much harder to break through, and if you don't have success right away, it's hard to kind of get people to buy in. Now, I'm not making excuses. That's not an excuse. That's just kind of laying the land. But yeah, the three guys that we lost, right? All went
The
to the
tight end
NFL.
coach, what did he do?
He went to Arizona with Patrick, and then
but I'm saying as a loss for us, it's not a loss.
I mean, he was recruiting well, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think the wide receiver Colbert, that one stung a little bit, because I think we've all noticed how well the wide receiver core was starting to look. I did see you tweet, and I was going to mention this as well. Billy was a wide receiver coach, I believe, at Clemson and at Alabama. I'm not saying he's going to go down to that, but I think he has a good eye. And what this tells me is, like, look, Billy has his eyes on the right guys, right? I mean, he's looking out, and he's starting to see. I mean, if the NFL's poaching these guys, that speaks volumes. And it's part of it. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, boys. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and we didn't help ourselves with Terry Colbert tweeting out that stat line of all the guys that he's put in the NFL. Okay, you don't think the NFL coaches were looking at that saying, "Wow, look at this dude."
Yeah, look, congratulations to him, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
We can't hate on it. I think it's great. Look, it's good that it happened now. There's really never a really good time for this, but if there is a time, it's now, and we make some adjustments. We get into spring ball March 4th, and we get the ball rolling. So we'll be good. I'm not worried, though. I appreciate you calling in, though, as always, Cody. You're the man, Bubba.
Yeah.
Appreciate your love.
No problem. I got to get back to work.
Later, Gator Bait.
Later.
All right, Cody, as always, being the man. Look at this guy right here, bro. I mean, come on, dude. Guys at work just grinding it out. Like, I mean, talk about just the greatest fans. Hey, also too, shout out to Hunter here, who got his ass clapped on Monday Madden. What's up, big guy?
Back whenever you're ready for it.
I'm ready. Talk to me, big guy. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm gonna make this quick because it's getting pretty loud out there.
Sure.
Scott Frost. I ain't seen a lot of mention of him for receivers coach.
You think Scott Frost takes a bag from Nebraska and goes all the way down to wide receiver coach? You really think that's where he falls to?
Hey, I'm just trying to figure out if the people that I've seen suggested Auburn's wide receiver coach and the other guy. Not many people on Twitter are too fond of those two guys. If not them, then who?
Sure. Look, I mean, this is what I've always said too. Again, we're always calling for people's heads, but if not the guy who we got, then who are we going to go get? So it'll be interesting to see. Again, I trust in Billy. For him not having a replacement yet for these two other guys tells me either he was a little blindsided by it, or he's kind of vetting the process a little bit more, because obviously Armstrong was a very quick flip, which to me is a little bit bigger of a position. But look, I think the wide receiver coach and the tight end coach, those are big things. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think the situation with Tony, I think the two had such mutual respect for each other that Tony kind of gave him a heads up that he was entertaining.
Sure.
And then when it finally came down to it, Billy already had his guy lined up.
Absolutely. I'm not too, like I said, it's funny watching it. It sucks seeing it happen. It's part of it's how, look, Saban loses. Look, I know Billy ain't Saban, but Saban be crossing them guys out like underwear. You know what I'm saying? He'd be losing coaches left and right with nobody's business. And again, he's much more established. But it's a compliment. I think, in my opinion, I believe in what Billy's been able to do. So I'm not too stressed about it or worry about it. I'm excited, honestly. I'm excited to see what we can bring in. again, Colbert was a tough one to lose, especially with the wide receiving class that we just brought in. And obviously with Jeremiah Smith coming in March 4th, or at least in March, that concerns me a little bit. I think it's going to impact recruiting. That's one thing I will say that I am a little nervous about. And I think Billy's got to move sooner rather than later. But if he can get some good, look, he put a good group of guys around him this time. I think he's a good judge of character based on who the kids he's brought in and the coaches he's brought in thus far. And I think if he can go and snatch somebody like Armstrong from Saban, now again, it is an upgrade from what Saban was, giving him. I think old used car sell Billy can definitely get it done.
Oh yeah. Jeremiah Smith actually tweeted out shortly after it was confirmed. He just tweeted, "Wow!" It took him by surprise too.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm sure he was obviously Colbert is a big communication factor to all these kids. So again, that's recruiting is definitely going to be impacted. So Billy's going to have a long off season again. Uh-oh.
I got to run, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there, Bubba. Appreciate you calling in, man. All right, boys. This guy that I'm about to bring on here, okay? The man's out. I saw him earlier. Is this my boy? It is. Okay. I was trying to see what the last name is. My Lowry.
Oh, hold on, dude. I'm coming.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My Lowry.
I'm coming, dude. I'd run to the kitchen, dude.
Look at the size of this man's shoulders, bro. Just give me like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Dude, look at the setup back there, bro. You be riding the bike and shit?
Look at the armpit sweat.
Yeah, it's you be on the Discord, bro. It's just for looks.
Yeah, it's just for looks. I don't use the bike. And yeah, man, ain't much going on here.
I love it though. I love the setup, big dog. How we feeling, man? You ready for blackjack tomorrow? Hey, you know the Discord about to roast your ass now. You know this, right? Like they've got video evidence of you. You're putting yourself out there.
If they haven't found me on Instagram by now, I mean,
this is fair. This is fair. But I mean, you know how they are, bro. They hold no prisoners. Yeah, look, getting swamped. So getting swamped at Triple H. I don't know if you've seen Getting Swamped, but that guy's absolutely fucking yoked. Like the guy used to be walking around with 24s on his arms. So I think Soderquist was on the show yesterday.
Oh yeah, I seen him flexing on your on the one show you had.
Yeah, buddy's
give it a little
yoked.
peep, dude.
Yeah, I think he's a little intimidated now. How are you feeling, buddy? Talk to me.
Good, man. I'm just calling in because you've been talking all that smack in Discord. So,
well, bro, you don't
I don't know. Let's talk, man. Let's talk.
You don't come around no more. Usually you're cool. You're in the chat. You're lively. We just miss you. So that's all. Usually you come in there, you spice it up a little bit. You be dropping little bombs. I see you on Twitter just trolling the shit out of people. I wish,
dude,
I wish you would get more credit for your tweets. Like they're incredible. Like I think the reason I see them is because I constantly like them. So like your little nuggets will just pop up. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's like my number one goal on Twitter is because like I realize that Twitter is like a black hole of just people aren't going to listen to your opinions. They're just there to piss you off. And I always find it funny to. Yeah, I always find it funny to see people like arguing their points, and I'm just like, you know what? My whole goal here is to get blocked by Miami fans and FSU fans. Those are the main ones, and yeah, man, that's just my goal. I don't have any kind of real use for Twitter.
I love the drive. No, I think having goals and passions is key, and that's a good one to have. Bro, I'll see something and I'll click on it and I'll go to comment. And literally, your face will pop up with exactly what I'm going to say. I'm like, well, fuck, I guess job's finished.
Yeah, man.
Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing for me.
You just gotta be professional, man.
Yeah.
So
that's
what I'll be.
Yeah. So I find myself sometimes like I don't want to come off like I like to talk shit. It's fun, but I also don't want to like get into a pissing contest because I know some people take it to a new level, and it's like. We're trying to build a brand here, so I gotta tiptoe a little bit. Soderquist is king at it. I will say he does a phenomenal job of maneuvering his shit talking to where, but I don't have that ability. If I send it, I'm coming for you, bro. A guy on Facebook, he posted a clip. It was a picture of a crack pipe, and he's like, just before, and it was about my Anthony Richardson going #1. And he commented the picture and he goes, this is what this person saw right before posting this. And I go, it's the exact same thing your mom saw before having you. Like, that's where it's like immediate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not holding back any punches. Like, it's just, you put it out there for me to grab. I'm going to take it. So This stuff right here, that's what I encourage FSU fan and Miami fans to call in, because I think everybody can be a keyboard warrior. It's when you've got the lights on you where everyone kind of clams up a little bit. And that's why I love this. Is like, look, you have a free opportunity to call in and run your shit. Ain't nobody ever call in, though, and it's very unfortunate.
It's because they hide behind those, I don't know, those profile pictures on Twitter. And they never want to, they always talk shit, but they never want to come out and say anything, So it is what it is,
It's a good time. How you feel about the coaches changes, Bub? I mean, you're upset about it. You kind of like, it is what it is. Look, I think we as Florida fans, this is kind of what we do. Like, we see it happen in Miami. We're like, ha, you suck. And it happens to us. We're like, hey, look, they're going to the NFL though. Like, it's good things. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely spin it. It's just part of being the fan base. But how you feeling about it? Keep it 100 with me.
I'm probably the most realistic fan you'll ever meet, man. I'm like you. I trust what the coach is doing. I feel like if you're getting paid $7 some odd million to to run an organization and lead an organization, that you, especially him, there's something about his personality where I feel like he knows what he's doing. Granted, he didn't really show it last year, but as far as his process and getting this culture and every organization set up, I feel like he's doing the right thing. I don't know, man. As far as the coaching changes, though, Kerry was the one that got me. I was like, man, that dude, he's an animal. I don't know if you ever watched him, practice with the kids, but this dude actually runs routes with them. Not many coaches do that, and he actually will keep up with those guys.
Sure.
So seeing that and seeing him leave is kind of kicking the nuts, but it is what it is. It happens all the time. Could be worse.
Yeah, it definitely. Look, I think it feels like we started to find like a little bit of a rhythm. Things are going the right direction, and then it's like it's a flick of the nuts. It's not even a kick, right? It's a flick where it's like that's just the worst, because like it doesn't hurt right away, and then all of a sudden like you got a stomach ache. You're like, what the? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how this one feels, because things are going the right direction. I feel like the buzz was there. We had the interviews with the kids. Not like literally a week and a half ago, they were talking about how excited they were. Everybody was fired up because you got ETN talking about how great he's feeling. Desmond losing weight. Ricky Pearsall coming back. Why he's coming back. Amy Jean hyping up Mertz, right? And look, it's talking season, and that's what you're looking for. And then literally we have like a couple of days of silence, and then it's like, yep, everyone's leaving. And it's like, what the? Like, why?
Yeah, but you know what? If Billy Napier goes and hires somebody on that caliber, on that same level or somewhat close to it, all this smoke will clear and everything will be back to normal. It happens every time something bad happens to Florida,
And the problem, I was talking with my buddy from Georgia, it's a Georgia fan as well. He's like, look, come September, August, you guys are a 3-0. Nobody's going to even remember this week. But right now, because it's talking season, it's off season, it is under their microscope like nobody's business. And the thing is, dude, like this is what's tough about being a college coach. One, it's just it's watched more than the NFL. The off season, it's under a microscope because of recruiting. It never really stops. It's off season, right? And with Coach Billy coming in his first year, obviously he already dealt with a lot of turmoil. Just with having to take a transition from Mullen. Then you've got Anthony Richardson, right, who's this polarizing player. Then you go into your first year with a hell of a schedule. You go through an absolute gauntlet. You lose to Tennessee, you lose to Vandy, you lose to Florida State, you lose to Georgia, you lose every game that you're not supposed to lose. Okay?
Right.
And then you find your way out of it. Then you get a quarterback that's a perv, and then you get a quarterback that wants $500 million to come play at university for 2 years, and he leaves, right? It's just one thing after the other. I'm like, bro, like we're over here like calling for Billy's head. Billy's like, well, I didn't sign up for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Billy, I'm like, hey, we need to talk about this, because I know we agreed on $7 million, but my contract didn't say I had to deal with your crazy ass fans all the damn time. Because, bro, it's insane. Look, I'm not making you guys are. I can hear it now. Oh, boo-hoo, baby, making a bunch of excuses. The job at Florida is something else. Billy's gonna age 10 years. He's gonna look like Barack for his first year, and how Barack ended his run. That's how Billy's gonna look in like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel is gonna happen, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
So
you could tell when he does his little press conferences too that he wants to say some shit, but he just can't.
yeah, he got to
he
keep it
has to
locked
hold
in.
back all his punches. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Fighting Mexican says Sunbelt Belly Fantasy Fanboy. This is your time, Fight Mexican. Don't hide behind the keyboard. You're more than happy to call in, and we can do this bad boy. Willing to have you on here. I got Ben Smith calling. Let's add him to the stream. What's up, big dog? Ben Smith, how you feeling?
Oh, little POV action
going on.
We're running 3 deep. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I like the defensive coordinator hire. I'll tell you that much.
You liking Kirby Jr. coming in?
Yeah, definitely. The visor, everything, dude. I got to get me one.
Look, I honestly think that's going to be the move. Is definitely getting in the visor. I got mine right here in case I needed to cue it up. In case anybody comes in here talking shit, I'll throw it on for sure. But a strong visor game. I think it automatically if they had scores in NCAA for coaches, it's going to give him 2 points for sure. Bump him up to like an 82 if he was an 80 without the visor.
Hey, so did y'all see what 24/7 was posting about? So they posted 2 articles today. Mm-hmm. One was Florida, talking a bunch of crap about Florida, saying, "Oh, Florida's falling apart? Billy's losing control of the program or whatever." They posted the same kind of article from Miami, talking about, "Oh, don't worry about it. Cristobal's got it under control." I think you tweeted it out, and then I retweeted it. Man, I did. If that doesn't show you the bias on 24/7 Sports, I don't know what will.
So here's the thing. Here's my thought on it. So the Miami post was a little bit ago. It wasn't the same day because obviously Miami was a dumpster fire a few weeks ago with their coaching situation. No, you're good. No worries. Just so because they'll be in the chat coming at your head, so I gotta make sure I clarify.
Right. Wrong.
The look, to be fair, in being in this world, it's kudos to 247 because they understand the Florida fan base and that we're absolutely buck wild and insane. And like I said, we're basically the dorkfish from Bill Engvall. And if they throw that corn dog down there, we're going to take a bite out of it. Miami fans don't come out for anything. Good, bad, ugly, because there's 3 of them, right? And they haven't paid their phone bill. Okay. So nobody's going to come out from Miami unless it's like really good news or promising. So that's the point of it too. In FSU, like you really can't really route FSU up right now. They won their Super Bowl when they beat Florida this year. So they're kind of they're still banging hookers and cocaine on from their parade with Stetson Bennett, right? So look, it's smart. Like it's Florida is a mini version of Colorado and what Deion is right now. You post a video about Deion. I mean, it is a flock to make sure that it's in support of Deion, and if it isn't, you're getting absolutely railroaded. To an extent, Florida fans just like that.
Until recently. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, with that whole Deion thing, what he's looking at when he looks at a quarterback or he's recruiting a defensive lineman. I don't know if you read that whole story.
Yeah, we talked about on yesterday's show that you don't come to anymore. We talked about that. Like I thought he kind of got away with it. I don't think it was that big of a deal. I actually didn't mind it at all. That was my take on it. I loved it. Him being just real like, look, it's facts. Yeah. Like I understand what he meant, like what he was saying about, hey, this is the type of personality that I go after. No problem there. But it happened during Super Bowl week, and then nobody really said anything about it. And then now it's slowly starting to kind of grab some attention again. So it's kind of interesting how it's worked its way through the media because it's really old news, honestly. And 247 wrote an article about it. I mentioned this yesterday too. They wrote an article about it. I clicked on the article. Article didn't exist. So they deleted it because either they kind of went too heavy or whatever it may be. But I feel like Pate does always a good job of kind of, maneuvering his way around that situation. But I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I kind of understand what people are saying. It's like, oh, if somebody else said they would get in trouble. It's like, I don't even care to even talk about that.
But
it's just,
if he was at JSU and said that wouldn't have been covered at all.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I don't think he wouldn't have had the same coverage. He wouldn't have been the Rich Eisen show if he was at JSU too. But
yeah, I mean, all you hear about when he was at JSU was Travis Hunter, the DB they got. That is true.
Extent, Yeah, JSU was definitely a flash in the pan of they were excited when they were on game day. then they were, hey, undefeated. Everyone kind of tuned in for 5 seconds. Like, okay, they're rolling this team. No big deal. I did watch the bowl game. That was probably the most exciting game that he played in. That was fun to watch, but everyone was watching every bowl game because there's nothing else to do. So
I'm just going to say this. You need
Tell
to
me.
stop. You need to stop pulling for Prime to be good at Colorado.
Oh, there it is.
Look,
Okay.
look. You're going to regret it because guess where he's going after Colorado?
He's not going to Florida State.
He's going. No, yes, he is. Florida State was a splash in the pan, man. It's not going to last very long, and they're going to end up firing their head coach. When they do, he's taking that job. And Florida's not even going to be able to touch Deion in the state of Florida. We're going to have to go recruit in Colorado because we're not going to be able to get anybody from the state of Florida.
Look, okay. So two things.
I'm telling you, dude, it's going to be bad.
I don't see Deion ever ended up in Florida. I really don't. I think there's so many old heads that run that college that it's not going to happen. The same reason why Auburn didn't happen. Number one. Number two, the reason why I like Deion is because he's the new kid on the block. In my entire life, I've always kind of been like the young, flavorful new kid on the block that's got to fight through all these old heads that hate the young kid that's buck wild and doesn't know anything. And that's kind of what I look when I see him. It's like he's doing the same exact thing, and everybody hates it, and he's beating them at their own game, and then they're getting pissed about it and throwing a fit. I do a bunch of grown-ass men do that all the time, and I love it. So to me, that's why I enjoy it. But I hear what you're saying. But
I like. I don't like him. I'm just terrified that he's going to end up at Florida State, and he's going to be there for 10 years, and we're just going to be a dumpster fire for the next 10 years after that. Because I promise you, if he goes to a team in Florida,
he's got to do good at Colorado first, though. You know, if he ends up being a wash there, then I don't think he has a chance.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. That personally, hoping for.
Yeah.
He doesn't do very good at Colorado, but that's because I'm scared.
So I think, look here to that. I said, look, if he does come to FSU, what's up? Bring it. Like we want to play the best of the best. We got Kirby and Deion. We got Kirby and Nick to worry about. Brian, I ain't worried about no Deion Sanders right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a.
So when the SEC changes the schedule, we play Alabama every other year. You're gonna play Bama. You're gonna play Nick Saban. You're gonna play Kirby. I can't stand Brian Kelly, but we're gonna end up playing him every year. You're gonna play Deion every. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Come on with it. That's what I want though. Like you want to go. Look, you want to go play in the ACC. You want to play Boston College once a week. Then go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who cares. Like that's what I want. I like that stuff, man. Look, if you want to be the best of the best, you want to talk shit. You got to play the best. So that shit doesn't faze me, to be honest with you. I hear you and I understand what you're saying. But if we believe in Billy Ball, sack up, baby. Time to take on the big dogs. So I don't hate it.
Right.
Real quick, Devil Dog, he loves Deion. He's a big fan. He says, do me a favor and send me a private message in Discord when you're off this ducking Deion trip. Every damn show has a minute. First of all, I didn't bring up Deion, okay? Second of all, the guy's most polarizing guy in college sports right now. So what do you want me to do? Tell him to stop doing shit, and I'll stop talking about him. Good night, buddy.
I don't think my entire life watching college football I've ever seen anybody get as much clout immediately after becoming a head coach in college football. I mean, I can't, other than maybe Kirby Smart when he went from Alabama to Georgia, but even then it wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't even close. It's unreal. Look, and he's brought, I would say he's brought 90% of it on himself.
I mean, I watched Undisputed, and Undisputed, the only time they talk college football is a national championship. Whenever anything happens with Deion, they're immediately talking about it. And they never talk about college football. Sure.
What does that say? UF 15-0, 2023 national championships. I don't disagree.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. What do you think about the timing of these coaches? You know, within 36 hours, you know, you had 2 coaches, and then your third came in within 2 days. That seems too much. I'm not sitting here spitting out conspiracy theories, but
yeah.
You know, what do you think is going on within the walls, like of the UF organization?
Yeah, so I think there's, I mean, yes, it's not a conspiracy, but I think Billy does try to navigate through these things as best as he can. And if he can control how news is released and how it comes in, because I think we've seen that how he does it with recruiting news, right? How he lets things come in and go and things like that. He kind of manages it. So I believe he knew about this and he's like, hey, we're going to do this and then we're going to do this. Okay. These two guys going together, Arizona makes sense. We can kind of cover that, handle it like this, and then we'll do this guy on this day going to Denver. Another part of it is both of these NFL teams just got new head coaches that just came in last month. So, or 2 months ago. I don't know when they exactly got hired. I know Sean Payton was what, like a month ago? And then I don't know who the guy at Arizona, but it wasn't that long ago. So you got both of these guys coming in. They're trying to establish themselves at their respective place. And then they start doing their hunting, right? And I'm sure they kind of had an idea already. I'm sure they already made some phone calls. And they have to get the ball rolling, right? For those guys that work in the offseason to kind of get transitioned. So, and I don't know if there's any rules of when they can talk to coaches. But yeah, I think, hey, if it's going to happen, we have to have it happen before March 4th. I need you guys to leave. And that's kind of where he was at. And it probably why it didn't happen sooner was because what I just said, these coaches just came on. Right. And who knows if they were interviewing with other NFL jobs. That part we'll never know. But this is, again, these are things that being a head coach is tough. Being a leader is tough because how Billy probably manages behind the walls that, again, we'll never know about was probably exceptional of, okay, guys, no problem. Here's what we're going to do. Here's plan A. Here's plan B. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to announce it on this day. We're going to announce that we've got this, and this going on. And we're going to segue right into this. So, and again, we'll never know that, but it's damage control to the best of the ability that it can. Everyone's going to take it and spin it and do what they want with it, but that's where we're at. So
I will say this. I was like, especially after the third coach was hired in the NFL, I was on Twitter like a lot. A lot of people on Twitter were like, why would people step down? Why are people taking lower jobs? And I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, it doesn't matter where you're going in the NFL. If you're going from college to the NFL, it's a step up. There's more recognition. There's more eyeballs. I know more people watch college sports, but there's so much more money involved in the NFL than college football. It's unreal. One thing that I felt was very interesting was none of these coaches went to a different college team. They all went pro, which to me, that says, hey, I'm a Billy believer. And what that says to me is Billy's getting the right people. They're just poached by these NFL teams. I mean, if these guys, like for instance, what's his name? Patrick Toney. He was on Florida's defense for 1 year. Florida's defense was not good last year. But the NFL, that I think it was the defensive coordinator who's the head coach of the Cardinals now. Am I correct about that? I'm pretty sure I am.
Oh, I don't know. So they lost their OC and DC. The Eagles did. Okay. I think you're probably right. I don't know.
Pretty sure it's the Eagles. DC was hired for the head coaching job there. But he took our defensive coordinator that didn't show a lot at Florida. But
he's not going as a defensive coordinator. He's going as like a linebacker coach. But I get what you're
he was taken off our team after not doing very good as a defensive coordinator, at least in the first year.
They saw something in him.
They saw something. Same with the tight end coach that is going to Arizona, and now our wide receiver coach that's going to Denver. It's like these guys, they didn't show a lot in 1 year. But the fact that these NFL teams are coming to Florida and saying, hey, we want this guy, we're looking at this guy, that shows that Billy's putting the right people in. If we just give him time, they'll get it figured out.
Sure. And I think that's something to be said, too, like what you said, where he may not be going from defensive coordinator to defensive coordinator in the NFL, but it's just like in real life. If you were to take, NFL's real life, but if you're in a position at work, sometimes to go to a bigger company with more opportunities, you may have to take a step back for a year or two, right? So you can allow yourself to get into that company to then take over, right? You're not going to show up to a company and be the CEO right away or, an exec or a manager, even though you were an exec or a manager at another company, just because you got to learn that process. It's a whole new process. It doesn't translate as easy as some people think that it will. So with The NFL, it's a whole other beast. I mean, the speed from high school to college is ridiculous, and then the speed and knowledge from college to NFL is just, it's something else. And yeah, it doesn't translate like people think that it would. So I agree completely. It's a huge compliment, even though it's a lesser role. If you're somebody that wants to continue to grow your career, that's where you go. And again, I think, dude, like the amount of work that these college coaches got to do for the amount of pay that they're getting.
Yeah.
Like he's probably making more money. Maybe let's just say it's the same or maybe a little bit more with less. And it's not like you're trying to be lazy, right? Like, I don't want that to be spun that way, but look, there's a time and a place where sometimes you can be overworked and you know what I'm saying? You're grinding out and it's like, I'm still not being appreciated for what I'm doing because recruiting kids, college kids is not easy. That's a whole other animal that no matter how great of a job you do, there's going to be some other outlier that's getting in the way of things. Now he gets to go to Arizona and just do what he do. I'm going to coach these guys, and that's all I've got to worry about. They're bought in. They've got nothing else. I don't have to worry about transfer portal. I got to worry about all this drama, all this nonsense. None of that. We're here for football. So, I think it's exciting. Look, the NFL is going to be more appealing. The college has got to get that stuff figured out because what's other college coaches be like, you know what, this is kick. I mean, look, you got Georgia lost Monken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just it's happening. And also today happened, I think it was today, the offensive coordinator from Kansas City went to Washington. I mean, that's a straight lateral move. But that move was obviously, I can't think of his name right now, but it was a selfish move because he's not getting any credit under Andy Reid. So he makes a lateral move to better his career and understand, because I'm sure he wasn't getting looked at for head coaches. And they're like, well, we don't know because you've been under Andy Reid this whole time. So,
right.
We got a question here.
I just think it's a compliment to Billy and the staff that he's putting the right people in the right places to succeed if the NFL's taking them after 1 year.
100%. 100%. King Sacco says, hi, Top. How do you feel about a 29-year-old defensive coordinator coaching against seasoned SEC offensive coordinators? So I'm biased on this, but I love it. Like I just mentioned earlier in the show, being a young guy kind of who goes up against the big dogs. I think there's something that gets overlooked. Now, look, I think there is some weaknesses that will be exposed, and that is just being knowledgeable, being around the game for a long time. Like I've mentioned last night, Mike wasn't there. Being in sales, right? It helps when you've been around longer because you've experienced life, right? You can relate to people because you've gone through these things. That's something that a 29-year-old isn't going to have, which is going to allow him to adjust probably to, let's say, a seasoned offensive coordinator. What he does have is he's not 20 years removed from these 18 and 19-year-old kids. I think it shows when we have these kids on here and we interview them, there's definitely a different energy. And this isn't a knock towards anybody else that's interviewing, but from when we have them on the show versus when they go on to another show with an older host. Those guys have a different agenda, a different mentality on how they handle their situations and how they handle their interviews. We're playing Madden on Monday with one of the players. Like nobody else is doing that, right? And it's different. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's different. And I think for college, it works. Sean McVay is one of my favorite head coaches. Again, he's 31 years old. The guy goes out and wins a Super Bowl, right? He's able to connect and relate, and he's not afraid to take chances. I think that's something with youth, and that's something that, look, we always question, like, hey, these young guys, there's always diamonds in the rough. Sometimes the GOATs start young. Tiger Woods, 19 years old. LeBron James, 18 years old. Sometimes you can find the young ones that are kick-ass and can take some names. So I love it. Does it feel risky? Sure, but we also hired a seasoned coach in Dan Mullen that was 50 plus or 60 years old that's been doing it for a long time and fell flat on his face. So at what point do we just start, we kind of ignore the age and understand, like, look, age has a factor, but there's pros and cons to it, just like if you hire an old guy that's been doing it for a long time. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, the younger guys too bring a different energy, I'm sure. I did think Patrick Toney was a little reserved in how he coached. It just seemed like he was kind of like a passive type of guy, and he had the same type of personality as Billy Napier did.
Sure.
And I watched the show that you did yesterday, actually, today on my way to work, like I told you I would. And
we're just like slowly taking jabs with each time we talk.
Yeah, and
very passive.
And I did watch the interview that you put up, and he does seem like he's the type of guy who's going to bring a certain type of energy to the locker room. And I think that goes to the point that you were saying yesterday. The excitement, like I have excitement for this guy coming in because it's new, it's fresh. even though PT was only there for a year. And for me is I'm going to be excited regardless. I don't care who it is because I trust my coach until he gets fired. And then except for Dan Mullen, I couldn't stand him, but all up to then that's how my mindset's been. And that's why I don't have many opinions when it comes to hiring certain coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard for us to really have a say on that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, when Mullen came in, dude, I thought we were back, bro. I've said this before. I thought I was like, it's urban era. We're coming.
Yeah.
But
when he came off the plane and did the Gator chomp, I remember that the news story coming off the plane. I was like, man, it's game over. You know what I mean? But it all fell apart.
I mean, I don't know PT from Adam or have much context of him because all we just see kind of on the sidelines. But he's 32 or something like that. But he's 32 going on 45. Yeah. He's an old soul for sure. But yeah, look, and I know I may get some flack on it. I don't know, but I talked about Austin Armstrong yesterday in his interview and just kind of his pizzazz and the way that his tonality, the way that he talks. I'm going to keep pounding this down, but it has an impact on people. It's the same reason why we listen to certain podcast people, right? It's the same exact thing. You enjoy the way they say it. You enjoy the emphasis they put on certain words, and it makes it entertaining to listen to. If those kids can go in there and he can lock them in and hook them into what he's saying and they understand and they get bought in, and yeah, I think the nice Southern drawl tonality brings those guys in there and he just gets them fired up a certain kind of way. And I think it's going to have an impact. Again, I don't know if Patrick Toney was doing that. And look, we're always going to try to find, you know how I am. I'm always optimistic. I am bummed. I wanted to see what Patrick Toney could do. I wasn't like a fan of him leaving. Like, I'm like, hey, like, oh, good riddance. That's not where my mindset was. But I'm also like, next guy up.
But I think most of us were just like, okay, from going from Todd Grantham to PT, everyone was like, hell yes. But losing him, it didn't really affect me too much. Like I said in the chat,
we don't have enough to even really make a true judgment.
Yeah, and like I said in the chat earlier, I remember the first game against Utah, and I remember typing in Discord like, why the hell are these guys lining up a yard off the ball in the defense? And
so far
it
back,
happened all year.
All year it did.
And they did videos and breakdowns of the defense, and they were even confused. I forgot the guy's name who does those breakdowns, but
it's great video, great guy.
Yeah. So, man, I'm not really concerned about it. It can't get any worse than it has been. I mean, maybe it can. But I remember watching third and longs, man. Oh my God. Holy crap, dude. You remember those 3rd and 26s on Tennessee and
brutal.
Even the 2 quarters of Texas A&M, they got like 4. But remember that first drive of the game? It was like 4th or 3rd and like 15 or 18, something like that. And they ran the ball, and that guy had 50 yards out of it.
I saw it in the comments earlier. Someone said 3rd and visor. I can assure you, if we start getting some big 3rd downs, I'm gonna have the visor like this, like the rally cap. I promise you.
Yeah.
I hope he comes out there with the freshest Florida visor you ever done did see. I feel like that would just get the people rowdy more than ever.
Yeah.
Look, Billy's not going to bring that energy. And I think if he can surround it, look, I think there's something going back to Deion Devil. That's something I think he's done a good job of is surrounding the right people around him. And maybe Billy bringing Patrick Toney may have not been the best move, right? It could have been a little bit of too much of a, hey, this is my boy, we're coming over, but too much similarity. And you need a little more of contrast. And because sometimes you can work together with somebody for too long. Like, this isn't working out. Like, I love you, but it's just not working out. So
yeah, it's like you and Harley.
Yeah, look, I think we
have
a great dynamic, but there's some times where it's good to spice it up and bring in a new flavor. Because it's easy definitely to get kind of on a little bit. Like last night, honestly, having David on first and then bringing Holly in, it was a nice refresher. And I felt like it allowed for Holly and I to kind of spark back our love again. You know what I mean? Great question here from FS Fanatics. Probably question of the night. Says, do you think our new DC prefers Coca-Cola or sweet tea? I don't even think Coke?
Say moonshine. Moonshine.
Coke.
Yeah, it's definitely an Arnold Palmer with a little bit of moonshine in there for sure. He's not drinking Coca-Cola. Now, with them yellow teeth, he might be drinking some Coca-Cola. You're right.
Oh, no. 3 weeks with Nick Saban, he's probably drinking Coke.
You think so?
Yeah. That's true.
We got Sweet Tea from Harrison Whitfield. 4th and Grantham. Sweet Tea for sure. Let's see here. Q-Lee, call in, bro. Son of a bitch. You're always in here in the comments. Just call in. Like, all you guys. Like, don't just sit here. I love that we have a phenomenal Gator base that hops on with this and does these call-in shows. Like, I love it. But I would just thrive for more shit talking. And I'm sure it'll happen eventually. It'll come around.
And you know what's funny is, like, I see on Twitter, people saying, oh, they're writing stories about this. Oh, with all these coaching changes, Florida might lose or could lose recruits. And I'm like, what recruits? We have 4 recruits in 2024. Unless you're talking about current players who were recruited by those coaches, they're going to have to transfer. So I see that, and I'm like, man, y'all stir the fan base up yourselves. Like, I don't know, man. That stuff annoys me.
I'm pretty sure the 2 defense we have committed for 2024, if I'm not mistaken, I know one of them at least is a legacy player. So I doubt he's going.
Miles Graham. Yeah, I don't think Miles Graham goes anywhere.
And I think the other one's got connections to Florida too. The 2 defensive
Darius Hayes.
And
the position coaches that are recruiting those guys are still there.
Yeah.
So I don't know where people are.
Look, I think I think part of it, again, I think Billy knew about this. This has all been communicated. Everyone's aware of it. I saw Arlos Boardingham tweeted out twice. Obviously, it's like saying like whelp. But boys, I appreciate you calling in. I got some people waiting. I want to bring them on here. If it gets slow later, you guys call back. We can chit chat. We'll see how we're rolling. But I appreciate you guys calling in. Means the absolute world for showing some love. Lowry, I'll see you tomorrow night, Bubba.
Yes, sir. Bring the money.
Right, yes, sir. See you guys. All right, my man Elliot. What's up, Cali Sunshine?
Man.
What's up, Big Pimpin'? My man been hitting me up yesterday to do a call-in show. He's out here living a life. What are you, like in Hawaii or some shit? You look golden, more golden than last time. The guy looks better and better each time you call in. You're like a fine wine.
That's because I'm getting all the sun. I gotta. Does everyone want to say hi to my wife?
I do.
Everyone say hi.
What's up, Miss Elliott? How are you?
Okay, I'm done.
She's like, all right, this is stupid.
She's done. I don't even. What are we talking about? I just got out of the sales presentation. Said no because
Elliot's like, I'm living my best life. What do you guys need me to do here? I'm ready to go. We need to. Hey, are you going to a game this year?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I'd love to. Let's pick a date and make that happen.
I gotta get a drink. We have to get a drink with each other. Like, you owe me a drink. I think I might owe you one, but I think you owe me one first.
No, I definitely owe you a drink. This year I looked at going to the opening weekend when Florida was playing Utah. The girls soccer program had their opening game, so I was gonna do because. Believe it or not, my daughter eventually will play for the University of Florida's soccer team. God knows they need her help. So just remember the name, Presley Gale. She's going to be starting midfielder for the University of Florida Gators at some point in her life. So I was going to do that, but I waited too long, and you'd be shocked at how expensive prices are to Gainesville from California. But I'm definitely down, dude. For sure.
Fly to Jacksonville. Come hang out with me. You gotta go over there.
Dude, my folks live in Jacksonville. My sister lives in Jacksonville. I'm the odd one living in California. So
I hear is excuses. But we're talking about a couple different things. We're talking about the coaching strategy, obviously the coaching change that we've happened over the last 48 hours or 36 hours, however you want to.
How much do we really care about that? I mean, is it like Patrick Toney? I didn't see a whole lot of sacks. I'm just saying, there was a whole lot of talk, not a whole lot of production. I will say this: I don't know if it was Toney or Napier more that got rid of what's his face. One of the first things I ever said on the live chat was I thought what's the dude's name? Our defensive end that was kicked off the team.
Oh, Brent Cox.
Yeah, dude. I thought I mean, say what you want, but that guy's production was just not there. So if Toney,
it really wasn't. I said that too a couple of times that I wasn't impressed. He was a bulldozer. The guy's a freak of nature. Don't get me wrong, but defensively, the guy would just bulldoze back there, and they're running by him. It's like, dude, you're not doing your job.
Right. like the word contain and Cox never went in a sentence together at all. That dude would go 5 yards up the field, and running backs would just be like, "See you later."
See you later.
Around the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I was screaming that. I'm like, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, it's pretty Cox. He's back there again." I'm like, that's all. That guy goes north and south. That's all he knows what he's doing. Like, he's not. If you notice, we didn't drop any production when he left. Like, again, I'm not trying to shit on the guy, but it wasn't like we were like he left and it was like all hell broke loose. The D line got better.
Look, we did get better, and frankly, like to all kids that want to play D1 football that are 5-star recruits, let his journey be a life lesson. Like, it doesn't matter. And here's the thing, that guy probably has all the talent in the world. He probably does. And frankly, he may do really well in the NFL, but at this point in his life, like, he's going to have to go, he needs to get a really good agent, and he's going to have to do really well in those interviews. Because if I were a GM in an NFL team, I'd be like, so bro, you just got kicked off the Gators. So let me get this straight. You were
Georgia too. Georgia too. You know, he left Georgia to come to us. Yeah,
exactly. You got kicked off of 2 different teams, and it's not as if the Gators were dynamic on defense. So you're wearing the number 1, right, which is supposed to be sort of a thing at the University of Florida, right?
More offense, but yeah, it's still a respectable number for sure.
Yeah, and you get kicked off the team. So forget that guy. So we got sidetracked. The point was that if Patrick Toney was the reason that happened, I think that was the biggest contribution to the University of Florida that he had. I am more than happy to have somebody else in there that, look, what we need, what Florida has not had in the last 3, 4, 5 years, we need a 4-man rush that actually gets pressure on the quarterback, right? If it's 3rd and 8, you want to be able to get to the quarterback without actually having to blitz. Don't get me wrong, blitzing is fine, but let's get a consistent, constant pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys.
Have you seen the stat line? You seen the stat line from Baby Kirby? Have you seen the stat line?
No.
So he ranked 4th or 7th or 4th last year on sacks for so everything you're praying for, Baby Kirby is delivering. And I feel like we're gonna get shit for that, but I think a Baby Kirby is a phenomenal. I mean, that's a phenomenal nickname. Like, I mean, that's like I think if I'm gonna be called somebody, that's the name that I'm looking for. You know?
No, I wasn't until I watched your show. I wasn't even aware like who this guy was. So today, I had to go like look him up. So now I understand the visor. He's got he definitely's got the Baby Kirby.
He got the Southern draw in him. We're going to hit somebody, going to pistol whip the shit out of him, and that to me just gets me fired up. Just tell me where to hit, coach. Just tell me who I'm tackling.
Yeah, that's what you want from a D coordinator. So, I'm cautiously optimistic about next year. We didn't get into it the last time, but the more I look at Graham Mertz, I feel like Graham Mertz was brought into the University of Florida specifically to get that first win at Utah. That's all. Look, that's all really Billy needs to do is if he can get that win against Utah and then actually not lose to Vanderbilt, he's going to do better.
He'll have a healthy season, 100%. You beat Utah and Vandy. You're going 8-4. Right? You're going 8-4.
Yeah, that's all he has. And he knows that. And here's the thing, like, the numbers don't lie. They don't. And I know you've talked about this before, but I went back and looked at some of because I was not a Mertz fan. I think I was on the show, like, talking smack. I wasn't the biggest fan.
You were yelling.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, for sure. I think I called him Philippe Franks 2.0 based on his stat line. But I stand by that. But here's the thing. If you actually go look at his stat line versus Anthony Richardson, and then actually look at how close we were to winning a few of those games, you're talking like just 3 or 4 plays. The difference between being 6-7 versus like 8-4, right? It's a big. We don't need much. Mertz just needs to not throw an interception, hand the ball off, let Etienne get his 6 yards of carry, and then win games 28-24, and we'll be good. We'll be good.
Here's what I predict happening, because it's already happening a little bit from Miami and FSU fans, and that's I kind of called out Miami fans and FSU fans in my title, but they're a bunch of pussies, so they're not going to be here tonight, unfortunately, because I would like them to call in. But they're kind of on this thing right now where we're going to have possibly a number 1 round draft pick in Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's being projected to go number 1 currently, and it's like, oh, Florida sucks, they dropped the ball on him. It's going to suck because we're going to look back and be like, damn, did we miss out on it? It's a timing thing, right? It wasn't a good marriage at the right time. Billy needed a guy who could come in and manage, be more of a game manager and allow Billy to establish his process, in my opinion. And I feel like Anthony's trying to obviously sell himself. And Billy, I don't think Billy would ever recruits Anthony Richardson if that's how it looks. And that's not a knock on Anthony, but that quarterback doesn't appeal to him, in my opinion. So look, that's people don't understand that. Like that, it's not like you just plop somebody in. It's like, all right, cool, man. Like you did really well at Louisiana. Like, go ahead and rock and roll with this stud. Like sometimes those things don't really work out, and that's why the Indianapolis thing makes sense, because the coach Shane Steichen from Philadelphia, who just got done working with Jalen Hurts for the past year and a half, right, has experience in that style of quarterback. So it makes sense now. Indy might go after that type of guy because, like, hey, I can work with him.
Totally.
That may not be for Billy. So it doesn't mean that, hey, Billy sucks at his job or he's not doing great, right? It's just it was a timing thing, and it's not his style.
It is interesting that Florida, it sucks because every time we hire a new head coach, that head coach has always brought in a radically different strategy in terms of offense, right? When you had, I think, going back to when we had Muschamp isn't even an offensive guy, right? So he brings in, Charlie Weiss, right, from Notre Dame.
Great. At the time, great hire.
Right. No, it's great. The problem was, but here's the problem with that hire. You were just borrowing him because he was gone the next year. Charlie Weiss isn't an offensive coordinator. He's a head coach, and he was gone the next year. I don't remember exactly who Muschamp brought in after that, but Muschamp was actually a really good example of Florida playing on the margins. Because I remember reading an article when I think Muschamp went like 12-2, and reading an article that said Florida was back, and I was like, dude, it doesn't feel like that because we won a lot of those games by like 2 or 3 points. And it was basically all defense, right? And then
I remember those days.
Yeah, and then the other shoe dropped, and then you're losing all those games you just barely won, and then you get fired, and they bring in Jim McElwain, which was more of like a pro style offense, right? And then you go from McElwain to Mullen, who's more of a spread offense guy, and then you bring in Napier, who's more of a power. Like not exactly 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but like just radically different, right?
It very much. And that's where, again, we keep pounding this too, because a big statement is like, oh, wait till he gets his own guys. And the Mullen guys are like, well, what's wrong with us? Nothing's wrong with you guys. You guys are talented, but you were brought in to fit into Mullen's scheme, to his process, his system, not Billy's. And that's what we don't understand as Gator fans. Like, oh, he sucks, get rid of him. It's like, bro, the guy, you chill the fuck out for a minute and allow for them to work their process. Look, Billy may not be the guy. We could be sitting here in 3 years and everyone's gonna be like, you guys are idiots. We told you so. We could also be sitting here for 3 years with our dicks on the table with a couple natties under us. We're like, what's up with it? And we are.
I think Billy's the guy. I feel very, very comfortable with Billy, more so than I did with Mullen. And it was really the Mullen era that I, as just a fan, started really paying attention to recruiting. And I can't tell you how many times it was frustrating when Mullen was the head coach that you would see these 4- and 5-star recruits have a top 3 or 4. And it was always like Bama, Georgia, USC. The point, not Florida. Like Florida's not even in the conversation, right? And they're living in Central and South Florida, and they're not even considering the University of Florida. They're looking at Georgia, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like that should never happen. And oh, by the way, if I don't know if he's actually named his school, but whatever the number one running back for this next recruiting cycle, the dude lives.
Jarrett Gibson.
Yeah.
In Gainesville.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Billy, I love you.
You got to land him.
That's a running back. That is exactly what any running back should have looked at last year and go, I want to go play for the Gators.
Bro,
right?
that's what I keep preaching that. So one, he was already committed to Florida under Mullen. He obviously decommitted with the transition. He's going to be highly sought after. But I keep preaching that. If you're an O lineman and a running back, now if the offense is completely flat, yeah, you can make the argument of like, well, we don't look good. Nobody looks at Trevor Etienne and Montreal Johnson and think like, oh, those guys suck. The NFL is slobbering right now looking at those guys.
Right.
And Trevor was a freshman last year. A freshman.
Right.
And balled out. So I 100% agree. If I'm Jarrett Gibson, I'm like, let's ride. Like it's a no-brainer in my opinion. I don't know how we don't just, and now you got DJ Lagway coming in and Jeremiah Smith, the number one wide receiver, is gonna be visiting, who's been tweeting at DJ Lagway. It's like, bro, go make magic happen. Go be the number one wide receiver, running back, and quarterback all one class.
Yeah,
why not?
If Billy doesn't get, you can't miss on the number one running back in the recruit who happens to be a hometown kid, who happens to be going to IMG Academy. You can't. Like, that's got to be.
Gotta be number one priority. Number one priority. Now, look, there could be something like if they're not heavy on him, there could be, hey, it's not fitting the personality, and that's something we'll never know. But because you'll see that happen, it's like all of a sudden, like it'll go silence on a certain recruit. And it's like, what's going on here? Why aren't we going after this guy? And it's like it wasn't working out. There was a recruit that went to Texas. There was a whole. I was interviewing Aiden Zell, and the kid was committed, and he committed to Texas. And Aiden was talking about where he thought he was going to go. He ended up going to Texas. Everybody's shocked. I have Connor Clark on literally like the next day, and I go, "Hey, what happened here?" And he goes, "This kid wasn't wanted by anybody. None of the colleges wanted him, but they're not. The colleges can't come out and say, "Hey, we don't want you anymore," right? So he's not going to remove their hats. He wants to look as appealing as possible, and it was because he was a freaking drama queen. Was what it boiled down to. But nobody's going to say that. Colleges can't come out and verbally say that. They're the ones that always have to be hush hush and take all the weight of that.
For sure.
So,
for sure. Well,
hey, Elliot, I got some people waiting, bro. I appreciate you calling in, dude. Love you as always, man. Love the energy. We have to get a drink together. I mean, look at you. You're living your best life. I've got to be like Elliot. Okay, guys. WWED. What would WWED? What would Elliot do? You know what I'm saying?
Bye. Take it easy.
Later, Bubba. All right, boys and girls. We've got old Q waiting here. King has another great question here. I see you guys talking shit. Jacob Rex says, damn, bro, we happy with 9-3? We haven't lost standards, Jacob. We'll get into let's get into it. I know Q. What's up, baby?
What up?
How we doing, man? I see you round the chat up per usual, which I love.
Man. Yeah, you talking some calling in. I done called in. I'm here.
Let's go, baby. Talk to me.
Hey man, what you want to kick off first? Then I'll tag along with it. What you want to kick off?
So
with?
we've got a question. We got two questions. We'll dive into that. So it says, at High Top, how do you feel about Napier's in-game adjustments and play calling? I know you're going to give your thoughts. You gave your thoughts on the chat, so let's hear about it.
Well, yeah, I've already said what I said in the chat, but I'll say it again. Like, I feel like his clock management sucked.
Sure.
And I feel like he's taken. I know that when he was at Louisiana that he did the offensive play calling, but I feel like he needs to be a CEO and give that to someone else. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot more responsibility. Whoever wears the crown, the crown is heavy, and he's wearing the crown. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like he needs to be more of a CEO, I think, in my personal opinion, because I think he's taking on too much right now. And then now he has more, all these coaches are leaving, and it's just, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's no direction. I don't see the direction at all. Like, I feel like this was a bad timing of all these coaches leaving, and spring game is right around the corner, and you already had what was the number 33 on I can't pronounce his name.
Who?
It starts with a U. I can't pronounce his name.
Princely?
Yeah, Princely. Yeah. When he tweeted, I was like, like, oh, a new playbook. It's like,
Yep.
And that, so now we don't know if it's going to be, from what I'm hearing, that it's still kind of this quarter the same scheme that Patrick Toney ran. Like it's like the creeper kind of like defense or whatever. It's like, but we don't know technically for sure unless we see what kind of defense and scheme that this new guy is going to run. So then these players are going to have to learn a new scheme on the fly. It's like a step. I don't know, man. I just don't.
So
I get
things.
the direction that Billy's doing on offense. I know his philosophy, but defense, man, I'm scratching my head, man. I'm scratching it.
So look, I think a couple of things we got to go over. So the CEO comment, right? I couldn't agree more. I think he definitely has to get himself into that role. But also your first year as CEO, right? There's a lot of pressure. And if he feels like, hey, I don't necessarily trust somebody to take this role just yet, and I want to control it and make it be my baby because there's a lot of moving pieces, I have to keep one thing underneath my belt, then so be it. Like if we don't trust Billy being the offensive coordinator, we can't trust him to be the head coach. But I understand what you're saying. Like he can't carry everything. And I think eventually, and I know we hired an offensive analysis / coordinator this year. I think that's somebody that's going to be kind of assisting on that. What are your and again, I think his in-game adjustments and play calling, look, I felt a little flat and vanilla at times. Again, I think there was a lot of him trying to work his way in with Anthony Richardson. But what is your feeling on Billy? You're not bought in, Q?
No, I'm not bought in on him. Because if you sitting there, it doesn't take a whole season to I feel like Billy tried to fill a square into a round hole with Anthony Richardson. Like that offense that Billy's trying to run, it didn't suit AR at all. AR is a option run spread quarterback. That's what he is. That's exactly what he is. Right? Like honestly, and Billy Napier's offense doesn't fit his skill set, and I felt like he tried to force Anthony Richardson. So that's telling me that no matter what, you see what I give Dan Mullen, what I give him is he saw that even though it took him it took Felipe Franks to get hurt, but he saw that Trash couldn't run that spread option run offense that Dan likes to run. And I feel like Dan has enough common sense to change it up. And I feel like Billy, for what he showed us last year, he don't have the common sense to change to suit what he has. I feel like he's trying to fit he's gonna try to fit it no matter what. Like he's stubborn. I feel like he was stubborn. He didn't want to change.
You think he's more stubborn than Mullen?
With the offense,
hell no, bro. Mullen was as stubborn as they come. He had an ego bigger than you could ever imagine. I don't believe that.
But Mullen adjusted though, dude. He adjusted.
How did he adjust? How his last season did he adjust with Emory Jones? He made adjustments. Accordingly.
No, that was different.
So he made adjustments when he had Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts, who obviously went on to the NFL. He didn't do anything with Dameon Pierce. We're just gonna forget about that. We didn't. Okay, so there's a lot of talent that he threw away as well, too. And look, I just said, I don't know if you're listening, I was talking to Elliot. Look, I think he's going to look back and be like, damn, we missed out on Anthony Richardson. I totally agree with you. But he had one season with them. One season where he has to come in and he has a ton of adjustments. I think it was just a horrible timing. No excuses, right? Could anybody else came in and made a great adjustments? Who knows, right? And what I was saying, too, is I don't think Anthony would have been on Billy Napier's draft board or recruit board, however you want to look at it, if I got to be honest. And it isn't a knock on Anthony. Anthony would have gone somewhere else and been done an excellent job. But again, that was a Mullen recruit. That was a Mullen guy who was supposed to fit into Mullen's offense, who Mullen wouldn't even put in. Right. And that was like, okay, so I remember halfway during the season was like, was there a reason why Mullen wasn't putting it in? Because look, I think it's safe to say Anthony Richardson physically incredible. Arm power incredible. There is a lack of knowledge on the football field. He showed this from week 1 to week 2. Week 1, he would turn around for the play action when they were in the pistol. Okay. On the guy of the Gator Breakdown channel, I can't think of his name right now, spoke on that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He's the best breakdown for
Phenomenal.
Gator football on the whole YouTube. It starts with a D. His name.
Don't have a stroke. The following week, right? He no longer will turn around because he has to be able to read the defense. Okay. The moment when you do that, you now have lost you're not selling on the play action anymore. So now you're losing any creativity or any ability to sell, right? What you're doing on offense, which now limits the playbook, which limits what you're selling. And then, look, those things as your average fans, you're not going to notice that. You're not going to really truly understand. And when you're going up against a defensive coordinator like Kirby, look, Vandy is the only loss that is unexcusable, in my opinion. Only one. The rest of them, 100% excusable. Like, it's crazy to me where Florida fans are like, we should have won every game. Tennessee literally had the season of their life. Okay. It was 1998 for them. Kentucky was on that path to have the season of their life. Okay. Lost that game. Yeah. FSU is on this high now, and they think they're just like the best team since sliced bread. Like, they basically think they're Georgia at this point because they won 10 games, but lost three pathetic games. And I would love for an FSU bandwagoner to come and call in so I can roast them. So I'm not going to just go into that just yet. Right. So we lost that game. LSU, Brian Kelly didn't come into a shitty situation like Billy did. And Brian Kelly is a phenomenal head coach. He's a dickhead. Hate the guy.
Yeah, of course. LSU has talent. Yeah. They're just like Georgia. Like, they're in Louisiana. They're going to get the top talent in Louisiana.
Bro. So. Like, go look at their recruiting classes. Even with Ed Orgeron, they weren't finishing out of the top 5. They beat us for the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah,
right? So the talent's there. Who else did we lose to? So Georgia, obviously Georgia. And then Kentucky, Tennessee, Vandy, Florida State, LSU. I think that's all of them. I think that was all. And then obviously the bowl game. The bowl game was pathetic. I really can't defend anything on that. That was very frustrating. Like, again, that was an inexcusable loss. I guess I see you guys in the comment. Yes, I agree. How the loss went down. Losing that game, I mean, you're going to get 16th ranked Oregon State, who is in a rhythm. I mean, I think we're kind of discrediting Oregon State. I mean, again, they were 16th, 9-3, going up against 6-6 Florida.
But yeah, my problem is I just don't see no philosophy or identity on defense, and that's what scares me. I get the philosophy on offense, like I said, but defense, I'm lost, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. But I feel like the first SEC game will tell me everything I need to know about this team and what direction is going to go. My honest opinion, because that first SEC game, everybody knows who you are. They have tape on you.
It's just going to be Tennessee at home.
Oh man, Jesus Christ!
I love it. Look, I get your frustration. I can't wrap my head around the hate for Billy. I really can't. I don't understand where the benefit is from it. That's the part I don't understand where Gator fans are constantly calling for his head. Like, where's the pro in that, right? In 2 years, you can say
for his head, but I'm just side-eyeing him right now.
You're just hating a little bit. No, I get it.
Yeah,
but,
a little,
but okay, so I
don't fully trust him yet. I don't.
How hold on real quick, Q. How old are you? You don't mind me asking.
I'm 37.
You got any kids?
Yeah, I got a boy.
Okay, so he brings home his girlfriend for the first time, right? First dinner. Yeah. You gonna side-eye her? You gonna give her shit?
No, not yet.
No, you're gonna make her feel comfortable so you can get to know her. You gotta understand. You're not gonna judge her right off the rip. If your son loves her and cares enough to bring her home, you trust your son, right?
Yeah, but
okay. So Billy is here. He's at the
stuff though. He's showing
Billy's at the dinner table.
The whole year, you have bad clock management. The whole damn year. You don't
here's my thing with the clock management.
You got 50+ staff. You have 50+ people you hire on your staff, and you don't have the common sense to adjust to the timeouts and clock management. Come on, dude. Come on, man. That's inexcusable.
So there was I can't argue that. There was a few in there that were unexcusable. There was one in the Utah game that I was losing my effing mind, and it worked in his favor, and he looked like a genius. So who knows on how? Let me finish. Q. Damn. Right. Of those, right? We don't know if it could have flipped the other way. right? Of those mismanagement times of like, hey, maybe it was another just pure genius moment. And he was borderlining with genius. Could have just been an idiot. I don't know. There was definitely some questionable ones, and I couldn't agree more with you. I also believe, I truly and honestly believe that he put in a lot of trust into Anthony Richardson. A lot of trust. And I think that's the part that, again, nobody's ever going to be able to see or understand. If we see Anthony in the pros, we'll see it. But I think he allowed Anthony to be the captain on that field as much as possible. And I think he allowed for Anthony to make the mistakes so Anthony can learn to get better. And at the cost of that, right, was us maybe losing games or mismanaging the clock. Here's what's important with that. You have a son, right, which translates perfectly into this. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to let your son fail to get better. True. And as a parent, right, you want to step in and take control because you know how to do it and make it right. But that is, and you may fix it and maybe right for that particular moment. But in the long haul, it's going to hurt your child and your son. And you know that.
Right.
And that's where I think what people don't understand, it's like, yeah, well, don't cost my games for it. How you got to get better and how it could translate. And again, we lost Anthony, but I think other people on the football field saw what Billy was doing. Yeah. And that is something that stats are never going to show. And this is what I've been preaching. And look, dude, I'm selling a damn a TV to a freaking caveman right now, right? That's what I'm trying to sell is there's nothing, I got nothing for you. Because you're right. There's no stat line backing up what I'm saying. But what I'm going off of and everything that I'm saying is my interviews with every kid that's been on the team. I've interviewed 9 of them now, plus not half the recruits, but a good chunk of the recruits that are coming in as well. And there is a correlation with all of them. And you guys seen the interviews. Yeah, right? Yeah. And that's kind of where my head's at with it, bro. I mean, I think, and that's where I get frustrated with the negativity. I don't mind critiquing it because I'll get pissed in the middle of the season. I'll get hot, right? But the 1 year in, we're calling for the dude's head. Like just so in a year and a half we can say we were right. We have enough fans that are FSU and Miami and Georgia fans doing that. We as Florida fans don't need to be doing that. It's easy to say that he sucks, right? When Dan Mullen come in, I can almost say 98% of us were all bought in, and it didn't work out. Does it make us idiots? No, because I think I still don't understand how that didn't work out. That just is what it is. People are afraid to have egg on their face. Yeah. Why? Right? Like, who cares? Like, it's not that big. It's what's the big deal? Like, because you bought into your team and you believed into the process, that's a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. So like I said, I'm going to continue to buy in. Like, I think there is some questionable things he's got to get better at. And I think he understands that and he takes accountability, which I appreciate. Dan Mullen, in my opinion, it never really truly did. Look, my question for you, Q, if not Bailey, then who would you go get? If you're Scotty Tuhati, who do you go pick up?
Talking about for a head coach?
For a head coach.
Right now? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
It's tough. Put you on the spot, big guy. You weren't ready for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're all screaming and yelling, but it's like, imagine if Billy.
I'm not calling for his head.
I know.
I'm not
sorry for yelling at you.
Head.
I'm sorry.
I'm questioning his judgment on certain things, and I feel like this is like with the Anthony Richardson situation. I feel like that the part that I felt like that Billy was being stubborn. When I decided, this is my personal opinion, when I was done with Anthony Richardson, with the comments that he made that like, oh, I kind of lost confidence. How do you lose confidence when you're at home at the Kentucky game? You lose confidence at home, dude. You're weak mentally. You are a weak mentally quarterback. Just imagine the pressure in the NFL is 100 times worse. If you fail on the D1 level, if you fail at the University of Florida with that, then just imagine the NFL. There's no way, dude, that he can start automatically in the NFL. He's going to have to sit for 2 or 3 years straight up off the rip. To get the belt.
So I love this. I'm glad you brought this up, and I appreciate you calling in, Q, because you got balls, because you were in there kind of running your mouth, and everyone called you out to call in. So I respect you. Everyone else who was talking shit, you're a bunch of pussies. So I appreciate you calling in. That's a great point, though.
I don't back down now.
No, I love that. I love that. Like, talk your shit, baby. Like, look, nobody's wrong, right? I love your thought on everything. I don't disagree with you. Like I said, absolutely. That's what I love, man. Like, you got to be able to have a conversation. Like, it's healthy. Like, we can get back and forth and go back and be, not agree with one another, but it's healthy. the Anthony Richardson situation with him saying, "Hey, I got frazzled." There's two parts of it, right? Being a dad, I see a young kid being honest and being vulnerable, right? I get it. Like, I understand it. And it's easy for us as fans to say, you're in that limelight, suck it up, buttercup. Right. I agree with you. So that's I get that part. The other part, right? The fan part, the killer mentality in me, right? Where I'm at is, yes, you got to be able to be dialed in. And this goes to what I said, what Deion said, of who he goes after. I don't know if you saw his comments about the type of player.
He wants the single.
And I don't know Anthony's situation, and I'm not trying to correlate the two, but that it goes just to that. Again, like, I can understand where somebody could have that mindset. Again, like, if you have a single parent household, those guys are a two parent household. They have that confidence in them. And again, I don't know Anthony's situation, so I have no idea if that has anything to do with it. Because again, that you could still have both. But yes, when he did say that, it was a little like, well, damn, right? Like, how are you getting frazzled and dazzled at home? But we also got to realize too, most kids probably wouldn't have said it like he did. Number one, I'm sure Bryce has been frazzled before. I'm sure CJ Stroud's been frazzled. Second, that was his first game. Really, it's season 1. You know what I mean? I mean, and he's super, super young. We forget how young he is. He's a sophomore. He's a third-year sophomore. So redshirt's the first year. The second year, he comes in and just gets to be a freak of nature athlete, right?
Right.
And then, falls inside. Real quick, Hoof Harder showing some love. He's always in here kind of giving us some shit, but $100 super chat. Love the Shelton knowledge. Not calling in tonight, but next time, thanks. Love. What's up, baby? I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you showing some love.
Dinner, man. That's a steak dinner, man.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to call in at all, bro. You just keep throwing. I love it. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, look, I think I agree with two sides, and here's where I kind of find myself too with talking with these kids and interview them. It's harder now for me to kind of talk shit, bro. 3 years ago, I would have been roasting this man. I would have been just like what you're saying, dude. I would have been firing from the hip, saying these guys are. This is your job, right? And look, I got a little brother up and coming. I would tell him that straight up. If he came out to me and go, man, I was a little frazzled, I go, big dog, you got 4 or 5 stars next to your name for a damn reason. Yeah. We don't have. I would tell him that 110%. But that's kind of how that's just the kind of the family in us, right? But you got to eat, baby. Like, there's 10 other people that want your job that wouldn't be razzled.
Right.
Get over it. Move on.
Yeah, it's not a problem to feel that way, but you have that title and you have a big responsibility. You are the captain of the team. You are the face of the football program, and there's no way in hell you should have said that publicly in front of everybody. That's something you say, private or whatever.
Vulnerable moment. Vulnerable moment. Yeah.
Like,
hey.
And
so I don't know if this.
When he said that, honestly, I was done with him. I was like, man, this kid is weak mentally. He ain't gonna cut it, man. Like, honestly, I said that, and I said that on a lot of Gator chat. I said that, like, man.
Look, and I don't think you were the only one, man. And I think, like, again, I hear you, and this is where we're getting into this new world where we're able to talk to these players, and you see a more like a different side. Where in the past you really wouldn't hear much from these kids, but it's definitely interesting. I'm a little shook here, Q, because I don't know if this is a damn typo, but Hugh just donated $200 now.
Oh wow!
For 2 steak dinners. I think Q, you can come over for a steak dinner now, bud.
Man, you in Jacksonville, man. I'm waiting in Lake County, man. I'm like 2 hours from you, man.
What?
Hey, you wait.
Hey, Hoof, you the damn man. You can say whatever you want, baby. You can talk all this shit, okay? Y'all shut the hell up. Let Hoof talk. You get unlimited chats. Look, and then Dom throws in a $5 super chat. Says, Hoof, we got to talk about our friendship, daddy. Everybody wants Hoop to be their friend now. I love it. Hoop, you the man,
you in
baby.
Jacksonville, right?
I'm in St. Augustine.
Oh,
Holly's
okay.
in Holly's
I
in
thought you were in
Jackson.
Jacksonville. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
look
Oh,
look at
you in
this
St.
ugly mug,
Augustine.
Q. Look at this face, dude.
Oh God, this guy.
What's up, my man?
This guy.
My bad, Hoop.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry.
How are
Georgia,
you?
what's that? Georgia hat? Black and red? Who
No,
you
it's our
supposed to be?
high top hat, Q. What the hell?
Well, all I see is a red strap on his.
Yeah, he's
Look
horrible at supporting the brand. He doesn't turn it around. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, man,
The
you
best
gotta
part
show
is I
the
can't hear a
logo,
word
man.
you're saying. I can't hear a damn word you're saying.
Go fix your
I
shit,
swear to God,
Steve.
every time I work on a Thursday night, like it's the kicks me out.
Oh, he's back.
Kicks my butt.
Go fix your shit, Steve.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Hold on one second.
Yeah,
They put
like
tape
fucker,
on
you can't even hear
They
us.
put tape on that Nike check too. That's the wrong color Nike check.
Yeah, golly.
But
Go get some milk, Holly.
right. But
I love it. Hey,
but
Q,
yeah,
I
what
appreciate
else?
you calling in, man.
What else, man? What else you want to talk about for whatever? Like what else, man?
So we got okay. Let's handle this. Jacob Rex. Jacob, you need to call in too, bud. Okay, he's fired up right now. He keeps saying, "Bro, we are happy with 9-3." Like he kind of just keeps spamming the chat a little bit. Look, I think nobody's happy with 9-3. We all want to. So hold on. Let me. Okay, go ahead. You go first. I'll let you go, and then I'll go.
I'll be damn happy for 9-3 for the season we had last year.
Sure.
I will be happy. Hell, I'll be happy with 8-4. Honestly, I don't feel like we're gonna. I feel like we're gonna go 6-7 again. At best, 7-5.
So I understand what he's saying. I don't think we're all like we want 9-3 because look, that's FSU right now. FSU's 10-3, and their 3 losses are to Wake Forest, NC State, and Clemson. And again, waiting for FSU fan to call in so we can have that conversation. And they think they won the national championship. I don't think we're gonna win. We're gonna go 9-3, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I might say we're back because y'all know how I be operating. But 9-3, 10-2. I said this with Uncle Lou on the show. The years of going undefeated is gonna go away. With us going to a 12-man playoff, with the SEC expanding, yes, in the 08s and 06 days, you had to go undefeated to get where you needed to be.
Right.
I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah,
100%. You had to. Yeah, and it was fun because every week you were on the edge of your seat, but it also sucked because when you lost, you're like, well, fuck, the season's over. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even going to get into a damn game. Right. Jacob, call in. I would love to hear your thoughts because I understand what you're saying, but you got to be real. Like, it's hilarious because I'm very optimistic and they're like, be realistic, Sheldon. Okay, well, being realistic is being excited for 9-3 and understanding where we're at. Could we, like, if we're 9-3, that tells me if we go from 6-7 and we come and we look with the coaching changes that we just had and we get Graham Mertz, who everyone says sucks, and we go 9-3, like, what do you want, Jacob? Like, what are we talking about here, dude? You know what I mean? Like, look, what are the 3 losses? We'll put Georgia on there, probably LSU, more than likely.
Man, there's no reason. No, the other years, man, we lost to LSU, man. Hell,
that was us.
We were the favorites, except for I think one of the years. And that was the 2019 season. We were not the favorites, or whatever. But 2020 at the Fog, the damn shoe throw, we were favorite.
Hey, we don't mention that. We don't.
Yeah, man, I'll never forgive him for that shit. But
yeah, look, I think am I gonna be happy with 9-3? He said we'll be happy with 8-4, brother. All right, Jacob, if you're not gonna call in and just gonna keep trolling the chat and just be like a negative Nancy, if I had to guess, Jacob's probably like 23. If I had to guess, because like you're not even like making sense right now. Like I understand like where you're coming from. Would love to have more than a 9-3. Would love to go undefeated.
I would honestly feel more comfortable if the coach right now would tell us, okay, what kind of scheme, what kind of defense, like what the philosophy will be on defense. Honestly, like I don't know, man. That's why I don't know, man. I just feel like
we got baby Kirby coming in. Relax.
Direction, man. I just feel like direction, man. I'm not confident with it, man. Overall, I'm not confident. I'm not.
I hear you on that.
But I feel like we should hire Ike Hilliard for the wide receiver coach, man. I saw him tweeting. I saw him like he's
all right. So I have a name for the wide receiver coach.
Who?
I can't say, but the first name rhymes with bourbon, and the last name rhymes with liar.
Oh man, come on.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Papa Stokes, what up, baby? Call in, baby. Jacob, it literally says call, link in description. So you're in here talking shit and can't follow you can't follow simple rules, bro. Like you're not you're calling into a hornet's nest, big guy. Okay, you can't even follow simple rules. And I put it in the chat. I can come over there and wipe your ass for you, but it's literally, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, Chef, I got a question for you. Who would you want to hire for defensive coordinator and wide receiver coach right now?
Well, we got Austin Armstrong for defensive coordinator. So you still want me to answer that? We already got one yesterday. Wide receiver coach, man, I don't really have a dog in the fight, dude. Like people be throwing names out there. Like I trust in Billy. I genuinely don't have an opinion on that. I think I don't have an opinion. I don't have enough knowledge of coaches to be truly honest with you to give you a name. That's just kind of I'm not gonna sit here and spitball and act like I know something.
My two names are, like I told you, Ike Hilliard and Dallas Baker, man. Because he started out at Marshall and then he went to, I can't remember the other school he went to, but he has experience.
So I don't know if I can say this, but who did you say?
Dallas Baker.
And who else?
Ike Hilliard.
Okay, so that my sources, that's who they're hearing as well.
Yeah.
That's the name being tossed around. When I was talking to the person.
But those two or one of those or both?
Just one of them. You can choose which one it is.
Probably Dallas.
I'll leave it up for the people to decide. Hey, we got Jacob calling in. You want to stay on the stream with Jacob, or you want to take him one-on-one?
But if it was me, I would choose Ike over Dallas, though, because Ike has NFL experience also with coaching wide receivers. He has college and NFL experience, and Dallas just has college. So my choice would be Ike Hilliard.
Okay. I love it. Well, Q, I appreciate you calling in. I got Jacob calling in now to talk his shit. So let him swing his shot here, okay?
All right, I'm back in the chat, yo.
Later, Gator.
Yeah.
All right. Jacob, talk to me. You hornet's nest kicking son of a gun.
What's going on, boss?
You tell me, big guy. What's up? What are you fired up for about 9-3? I need to know where this anger is coming from.
All right. So basically, my thing is all right.
Hello?
Yeah. All right. So basically, man, 9-3, bro. Like, come on. We were a team that just a couple years ago had Bama on the fence, bro, in the SEC championship. Okay. We were literally. We were it doesn't matter. If we would have beaten Bama, you don't think we would have gotten in the playoffs?
No, we would have.
Okay. You got to get in the playoffs to win the national championship, right?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Exactly. So if you get in the playoffs, you got a chance to win the national championship, right? Can we all agree on that?
In my past experience tells me that you are correct with that. Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So basically, bro, we were basically a cornerback or maybe a safety away, okay, from winning the SEC championship.
Okay. And we were 10 okay, so
how many years ago?
3 now.
And now we're okay with 9-3. Dude just said he's okay with an 8-4 season, bro.
Okay, so can I go?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So 10-2 on the fence of going to the college football playoffs. Followed by
correct. Who do we lose to that year?
You just said I could go. Now I can't go.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Followed by a 6 and 7 season with the departure of Dan Mullen, right? Followed by another 6 and 7 season with the quarterback leaving. We got coaches leaving now. So yeah, with expectations, my guy, with recruiting classes that were in the shitter, mind you, after this 2020 season, that 2020 season too, which people don't understand as well, was a fluke season. But let's call it what it was. It wasn't like we built up to that season. You understand that, right? Like that wasn't like a crescendo where Mullen was leading up to this moment. That wasn't the case for 2020. 2020 was lightning in a bottle. It was Tennessee this year, in my opinion, where everything lined up perfectly. We've got Kyle Trask came in, who nobody thought was going to be Kyle Trask, and Kyle Pitts, top damn near one of the top tight ends in Florida. Nobody what? Kyle Trask 3-star. You're trying to tell me that you knew about Kyle Trask?
Nobody thought Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask had just came in for Philippe Franks, dude, and carry and like, you know, and then the next year was that year.
No,
the next year.
Kyle Trask
had 2 years, dude.
Kyle Trask.
He had 2 years. He came in Philippe Franks in the Kentucky game, right?
Sure.
And then the next year he battled Emory Jones for the starting spot, and he won, and it took us to the SEC championship.
So Kyle Trask, his junior year, had a 156 QBR with almost 3,000 yards passing. So yes, he played his junior year, but going into that senior year, I don't think anybody anticipated. I mean, again, Florida fans always get hyped up, but that 2020 season was, again, not a crescendo into Florida being successful. Mind you, what I'm trying to explain to you as well too, because leading up to that season, what were we doing? So if 10-4 is 9-3 isn't the expectation, or we can't be excited about 9-3, what is the excitement? What do we do get fired up for?
Man, we got, dude. There's only one team in the SEC East that we should be losing to, dude. Okay, there's only
Georgia?
one team in the SEC East. Exactly. There's only one team in the SEC East, and if we can't battle it out with them, then what is Billy Napier? What is Billy Napier? Okay, like are we gonna become this program? Okay, that is we're okay with beating Tennessee and Kentucky now?
Okay,
like, okay, we beat Tennessee and Kentucky and lose in Jacksonville. That's okay with y'all every year for the next 5-6 years? That's okay with y'all?
No,
I just want to know, dude.
But okay, so you're also in the camp that Billy's not the guy, yes?
No, I'm the candidate that says Billy got to prove, dude, that he could battle it out with Sabins and Smarts, dude.
Couldn't agree with you more. How long have Nick Saban and Kirby Smart been at their job and got to get to this point?
Kirby Smart, look how long it took.
7 years. Yeah, my point exactly. You're backing out of my argument. Look how long it took him to get here. You're literally just to support what I said.
When was the first national championship he lost?
2016? No, it wasn't. Did he? Okay, when they played Bama in the national championship, that was like.
How many years was he coached in? How many years was he coached in?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. That was his 4th, 5th year. Let me check that out real quick. Hold on. Let me grab my tablet. I'll
be faster than you. All
right, go ahead. Check what year that was.
Well, what year did they play in the championship? That's the part I don't remember.
I don't remember, man.
He's been the head coach of Georgia since 2016.
Mm-hmm. And what year did they go to the championship with Bama and lose? When they had Bama on the fence in the championship.
Yep. I got you. They lost the SEC game, right? Or no, they won the SEC championship. No, they didn't win the SEC championship, did they?
Yeah, they did. They beat Auburn.
That's right. And Bama gets in, and Bama beats them in the. Yep. I'm guessing it was. So was it 2020?
No, it wasn't 2020, dude. 2020 was the year we went to the SEC championship.
Who did Bama beat in 2020?
They beat
Hold on.
Who they beat in 2020?
Ohio State, maybe.
Damn, they beat us in the SEC championship.
So he went.
Okay.
He went his second year then, based on this. If I'm looking.
Okay, thank you. He went in the second year. He took his team to the national championship.
Hold on. So 2017. No, it was 2018. They went. Excuse me. 2018. Georgia played.
His second year, he took his team to the national championship with Jake Fromm, all those recruits from Mark Rick.
From who?
Mark Rick.
Okay,
Mark Rick.
So also let's kind of run this really quick here, because I don't disagree with you. Kirby Smart did a great job. Nick Chubb
and Sony Michel was who? Nick Chubb and Sony Michel was whose recruits?
I don't know on that one.
He was Rick's Mark Rick.
Mark Rick? Okay, so how's that supporting your argument?
That's support. What I'm saying is, you're saying, Florida's fans' arguments is, Billy Napier got to pick his guys. Give Billy Napier time, all this stuff. Dude, Nick Saban's, how long it took Nick Saban to beat us in the SEC championship after he got the job in Bama?
You know how long Mark Rick was at Georgia and how long of a successful time he had at Georgia? You know, he had one losing season in 20 years at Georgia.
He had a successful season, but it didn't come consistently. We dominated. We dominated Mark Rick.
Georgia would always lose the big game. That was what was Mark Rick's issue. He would go 10-2 and 10-3 every year, which is what you're saying is not acceptable. What I'm saying is that Kirby Smart walked in to a phenomenal situation. He did not. The same situation that Kirby walked in is not identical to what Billy walked into. So you're trying to say that Billy,
Mark Rick was shitter. What he could not fucking win with those guys. He couldn't win with those guys. But Kirby came and dominated us with them. Kirby came and dominated us with those same guys, dude. Okay.
With what guys? With Kirby's guys? With his recruiting class?
With Mark Rick's recruits.
Okay, so 2016.
So if I'm lying,
Georgia finished 6th in 2016, which would be Kirby, like the transition season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2015, which is Mark Rick. Where we go? Which is Mark Rick. Georgia finished 6th. Florida was 21st. Okay. What I'm getting at is, I understand your argument here is that Kirby Smart transitioned with Mark Rick's guys a lot better. And look,
exactly.
That could be a okay, but that's a weak argument, because there's two parts to that.
That's not a weak argument, because that's Florida fans' arguments.
That's not, look, I think that's part of it. Yes, I think there is a transition. We have to give Billy time. Billy's coming into a new system. He didn't win his first year either. We just established that. He comes in 2016, wins in 2018, which that championship is the 2018 season, right?
He won a SEC championship, right?
In 2018, his second year. We're not even in the second year yet. He went 7-5 his first year. He went 7-5 his first year. So he won one more game than Billy did.
They came back like a motherfucker on excuse me for my language, but they came back on the Oklahoma game. Okay. And then went to the national championship and lost to a team that out-recruited them for years. Okay? Billy Napier, Alabama. They lost to Alabama in the national championship. Georgia lost to Alabama in the national championship, a team that out-recruited them for years. We're losing to Kentucky and Tennessee. Oregon State, dude. Come on, man. Like, come on. Let's be real, dude. Let's be real. We have lost our standards, bro. We lost it, man. Like that. That's the state of the program right now. That's the state of the program. Like, it's not even win in Jacksonville. At least with McElwain, it was just win in Jacksonville, and you're going to the championship. It's not even like that no more, dude.
For 1 year, it was from like that.
Yeah, that 1 year.
Okay, so he had one good year, which was
McElwain went to the SEC championship how many times?
McElwain?
Yeah.
So now we're comparing McElwain?
Yeah, McElwain. Mac Insane. That's what I like to call him.
Probably.
How many times did he go to the SEC championship?
Maybe 1 or 2 times. I don't know. I can't. I don't have the encyclopedia off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you.
All right. Let me go get my tablet then.
Oh, geez. Now we're getting the tablet pulled out.
Yeah, boss. Because I mean, dude, like we're trying to make Billy Napier out to be this guy.
McElwain went 4-7 his first year.
Mm-hmm. So, and then what?
9-4.
And did we go to the SEC championship?
I don't know. I can't see that here.
Because we went to the SEC championship with some pretty bad records.
We went. So again, that's not really helping in either your argument either. And then he went 10-4. So Jim McElwain, who you just said was good, didn't do anything better than what you're upset about. Okay, hold on. Then Muschamp went 7-5, 4-8, and then 11-2. So he probably went to 1 SEC championship because then he went 7-6.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying Mac Insane was good. No, he didn't get the name Mac Insane for being good. I think they went to
1. So Muschamp went 7-6, 11-2. Probably went to the SEC championship if I had to guess. Lost in the Sugar Bowl. Then went 4-8 the following season, and 7-5. Then McElwain comes in, goes 10-4. Probably goes to the SEC championship with Muschamp's guys. Then goes 9-4, 4-7, loses his job. So they both went one time. Mind you, they both went.
Okay.
Muschamp went his second year. McElwain went his second year, which were in Billy's McElwain went in his first year. Excuse me, McElwain did go in his first year. With a 10-4 record, mind you, with a 10-4 record. Mullen went 10-3, 11-2. So he may have went those 2 times. They probably went in 2018. No, in 2018 we didn't go because he lost to Georgia. Then in 2019 we beat Georgia. We go to the SEC championship, and then we lose in 2020. Did we win? I think they beat Georgia.
We lost to Bama in 2020. No, we lost to Bama in 2020. Yeah, we lost to Bama in 2020.
You sure we lose to Bama when we were 11-2? Well, it's 2019, so that's probably it's what I'm looking at here. It's just 2019 season.
Right. Yeah, the 2019 season. Yeah, it was the COVID year, basically. Was it the COVID year? I think that was it. But anyway,
it was.
The whole point I'm trying to say is, man,
Frederick Watts saying McElwain went his first 2 seasons. So McElwain's first 2 seasons were 10-4 and 9-4. So he went with a record that you're not okay with.
Yeah, but the whole point is he won the East. He won the East. He did what it took to win the East.
9-3 and win the East.
If we go 9-3 to win the East, the way Georgia looking, dude.
Answer my question. If we go 9-3, if we go 9-3, win the East, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I agree.
But the whole point is, we all know that.
So if we go, so McElwain went to the SEC championship and lost twice to Bama. If we go this year and lose, are you okay with that? Is that acceptable? Because you're saying what McElwain did was good. So if we go there twice and lose, is that okay?
No. I did not say what McElwain did was good. No. I'm not saying what McElwain did was good.
In the past, none of the guys that you just mentioned won the SEC championship. Not one of them.
I know. I understand that. bro. I'm a Gator fan. I know the last time. I know the last time, but the whole point is, dude, at least they took us to the dance, dude. They took us to the dance. Like, at least they did that much. We're losing to inferior opponents, dude. We're losing to inferior opponents, man. Like, and not even just losing, we're getting spanked. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's that, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. That's just it, man. Like, we have to realize that, man. And but my whole point is, brother, is that we need an AD who's gonna bring in a guy to compete with these guys, man. Okay? We need an AD who's gonna bring in a fucking coach to compete with these guys, man. Like, please, like that's all we need, man. You see the staff that Kirby Smart putting together, dude? Every year, Mel Tucker gone. He replaced him. Monken gone. Let's see what let's see what the other OC look like.
It's Mike Bobo.
Like, I thought shit.
You're not really saying anything. You're just kind of just talking, right? Like
what I'm trying to say is, do you think
leaves, he replaces him with Mike Bobo, and you're like, oh, Kirby's the GOAT. Well, you don't.
No. I'm not saying Kirby's the GOAT. I'm saying, do you think Napier has the staff to go up against those guys?
Yeah, I believe him.
Do you think? Okay, so you think Billy got a scheme to go up against Muschamp's defense?
Then who? So who are you gonna go? Who are you gonna go get?
I had to put some thought into that one, brother.
Since Billy doesn't got the guy, right, and since he's not,
I had to put some thought into that one, brother.
That you think that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're over here yelling, but it's like, well, we ain't got an answer.
I'm not yelling, dude. I'm just, dude.
No,
I'm a fucking fan, bro.
I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
Look, most people get the balls to do it and call in, so I respect it. I appreciate it. But I got a lot of people waiting, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get to them, but I do appreciate you calling in. All right.
For sure, bro.
Later, Bubba. All right, I gotta add this real quick.
What's up?
What the fuck, dude?
It's Kermit Cam. What's up?
It's who?
It's Kermit Cam. It's me, Kermit, and I'm jacking off.
Unbelievable, bro. How do these people come in here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, Cody? I see you. I had you in here. You were too busy driving the truck around.
Dude, I just.
He's rocking that brown, baby. Bro. What's up, baby?
Just trying to slave away, but I got in trouble for wearing my high top hoodie, so I got wrote up for that. But the union saved me, as always.
I was gonna say, you're union, baby. You can murder somebody out there.
I was working. I was slaving away over here trying to fix these trucks, and then I just heard all this nonsense. Number one, stop comparing Billy Napier and Kirby Smart, please. It's not the same, okay? It's not even close. Kirby got a fully built race team. They just need the driver. Okay?
Did he adopt a fully built race team, though? Did he adopt the team, or did he create that team?
Oh, Steve.
Kirby?
Okay, so hey, Steve, hey guys, Steve's a little buzzing. He's gonna start talking some shit. So y'all better buck the fuck up. I've been waiting for this Steve to show up on live. Kirby showed up. Kirby showed up with a Lamborghini with the keys already turned on.
Yes. Billy Napier had a Fiero. It was on blocks. It doesn't run. Oh, in the garage, there's no power in it.
Pinto. Like, how do we not like look?
Come on, guys.
It sounds like we're making excuses, but it's straight facts. I keep saying this. Go look what Georgia was doing. Georgia was just losing. Georgia was not happy with their standards. What Jacob was saying, right? Like they were mad about losing the Jacksonville game. They had built a great race car to where they should be winning that game. They kept losing that game. Florida is not in that predicament right now where we're winning everything else but losing Jacksonville. We got a whole bigger shit. We got to put the car together, boys. We need 4 tires.
Yes. And number 2, if these past coaches were so good, where's all the natties at?
Yeah. I got what he was
Where's Mullins natty at? Where's Mullins natty at? He couldn't fire his best friend. He was too busy drinking Bud Light Lime with his best friend Grantham to fire him and win a natty.
Y'all got Cody fired up with the damn UPS hoodie on. Y'all gonna get me fired up with this shit. Like,
I mean, come on, guys. Where's the natties at? Where they at?
I love it.
Where they at?
Yeah, but where's his SEC champions? Like
who gives a shit? That don't mean nothing.
They didn't win any. They didn't win any.
Natties.
Natties. Didn't have any SEC championships going in either, right? Before.
I don't care about that.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What are you talking about, Steve?
So, how many SEC championships did Georgia win prior to Kirby getting there?
Oh, I don't think they won any. None.
That's the
Nada.
point. Everybody's talking about how, like, well, hold on, Kirby walked into a situation where the keys and the Ferrari and
the
were
talent
already
was
started.
loaded.
They couldn't even win
let
the
him finish.
SEC.
Let him take the bait.
Okay, go ahead, Holly.
No, that
I'm
was
sorry
it.
I cut you
That was
off.
the whole thing. Everybody keeps saying, like, well, hold on, Kirby had a way better start to this whole thing, but he wasn't winning the SEC. He was playing for it.
Okay.
Georgia was playing for it before Kirby got there.
Yeah, so Georgia couldn't make it to the SEC championship game because they kept losing to Florida, or they would lose a Tennessee game. They would lose the big game, but they were finishing 10-2. They were finishing top 10 in recruiting every year. The reason why Kirby Smart or Mark Richt got the boot was because he couldn't get him over the hump. Kirby Smart was brought in to bring them over. Well, obviously not just, but to get him over the hump and to win. Why I say he was handed the keys to a Ferrari was because he was handed multiple top recruiting classes, multiple top 10 recruiting classes, right? And a class that was finishing with a winning record for the last decade. Florida has not been great for a very long time. We had a whole video about that where Florida feels like we've been good, but we had like an emotional swing. Georgia's had a hard time getting it. They had a curse. They couldn't get over the curse. Mark Richt wasn't the guy to get him over the curse. Kirby Smart did not walk into a 6-7 Dan Mullen disaster. Kirby Smart did not walk into a toxic situation that Dan Mullen left us in.
Can I ask you this, Holly, real fast?
Oh, you got Cody pissed off now, Steve.
He's fired up.
What happens if Florida State didn't hire Willie Taggart and got them a real coach?
Oh, well, I mean, that's the dark years. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay. So after Jimbo, the talent was still there. What happens if they went and got a coach that wasn't Willie Taggart and it worked out? You see what I'm saying?
I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's saying like Jimbo was kind of like a Mark Richt, like he built Florida State up, did a great job, and they made a great hire. If they would have made a great hire like Kirby Smart, but instead they went to Willie Taggart and kind of let it fall on its face.
Correct.
It wasn't like Willie Taggart walked into a shitty situation at FSU either.
Yeah, he made a shitty situation.
Well,
because he's a loser.
Jimbo left a really nasty organization there. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so when did Mullen leave? 20 what?
Dude,
20.
Not last year, the year before that.
2021.
Okay, so let's go to 2020.
21.
We finished. What are you gonna look at?
Your overall recruiting ranking that year was 12.
Or 12. Okay.
Okay.
Where did Georgia
in 2021, your overall recruiting ranking?
Hold on, real quick. Go look at that class, because I believe the top 2 recruits didn't even come to Florida.
Correct. Chris Steele.
So that class finished high, yes, but the top 2 the guys didn't even come to the class.
Deion Black. He seems like somebody who came but didn't.
Dewan Black never played.
Yeah.
He was there. He transferred this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he had to go JUCO.
Which we never hear about anymore, which is funny. I don't know. Like I just don't see how you can say that there was nothing in the cupboard here. 2022 was his last year there, and you still finished in the top 17.
That was Billy.
That's what.
But look.
That's what I'm saying.
Look where everybody else was recruiting in the SEC.
You know when Billy stepped in for that, we were at 54, and we got to 17.
Yeah, because he broke the IMG curse.
Then we'll take it a step backwards. Okay, so in 2019, you guys were the number 9 overall
number 9
ranked class.
For sure.
So why are you telling me that you didn't have talent when Billy walked in, or when what?
Pull the class up.
You guys are saying that there was
nothing
those kids are gone.
There was some in the cover. We won some games.
You had the talent there. You brought talent into the organization. In 2018, you were the top 15 class. In 2019, you were
Steve, I know FSU. If FSU finishes in the top 15, it's good. But finishing in the SEC number 9 when we finished in the SEC,
overall,
mind you, when we finished ninth that year, we finished 4th in the SEC. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at the commits for that year. Chris Steele never made it on campus, which I just said. Elam, who's in the NFL. Elam's already in the NFL. He was in the NFL before Billy even got there.
First round pick.
Mohamed Diabate, he played at Utah last year, so he wasn't even there for Billy. Okay. Chris Bogle, I don't even know who that is. Never heard of him. Tyron Hopper, outside linebacker. Never saw him play. Keon Zipper, that's your boy. We obviously saw that he played. Lloyd Summerall, he transferred out. Wasn't good enough to make it on Billy's squad. Naquan Wright loses his job to a freshman. So this is the talent you're telling me about. Those are the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 guys. The top 8 guys that you're talking about from the 2019 class and that number 9 class, I just told you, I gave you everything what happened to them. So it wasn't like we didn't show up with the stud class.
You didn't show up with a shit class either. Make something out of it, damn it.
There was nothing there, Steve. Wait, look. Also,
Nothing?
too, like what do you say? Make something happen. You're fired up right now, and you're not making any sense.
I'm not even. All I'm saying is that you guys are playing the victim role, and you're playing it so hard. You guys are
we're just realists.
You guys are acting like that poor Billy walked in with nothing. Your last lineage left you with nothing. That's not true. Like you can.
FSU did the same thing after Willie Taggart
because he sucked. He sucked.
But that's okay. So you get to use that.
Mullen got fired mid-season.
Bro, at the beginning,
how bad do you have to be?
After an SEC championship.
At the beginning of the season, Steve. At the beginning of the season, Mike
All right,
Norvell
boys,
was
I
on the
gotta
hot
go.
seat. Later, Cody. Mike Norvell was on the hot seat.
Yeah.
You were ready to get rid of him.
Yeah, I said if he didn't win 7 games. We talked about that like multiple times.
Okay, so you're ready to fire your guy literally 5 months ago.
I said if he didn't win 7 games.
Okay, so my point is you're saying that he walked into a shit situation, but when we talk about it with Billy, it's not a shit situation anymore.
I don't think it's not as bad as what Mike Norvell walked into after Willie Taggart. It's just not as bad. Like you got to keep in mind, like guys, the coach that you fired, he just didn't get along with the organization. He didn't get along with the boosters. He was an asshole. It doesn't mean that he didn't have talent there. Let's be honest. The guy was in competitive games. He was in the SEC championship within a year of you guys firing him. He was just an asshole. He was just an asshole.
His last season, he went 6-7.
Yeah, because he was checked out. The year before that, how did he do? In what year was that? Here,
he went to the SEC championship. I heard you.
So he goes to an SEC championship. He has 1 bad year. You guys fire him. Yep, guy sucks.
So 2017, whose recruiting class was that for Florida State?
Say again.
2017, who was that? Whose recruiting class was that for Florida State?
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, can you gentlemen hear me?
Yeah, buddy. What's up, man?
Yeah.
How are you?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, doing well. Listening to you guys for a while. First time calling in.
Appreciate you calling in, Bubba.
I think a lot of Gators fans have too high of expectations.
For sure.
I think that I mean, a 4-loss season, including a bowl loss, I think that would be a great year for a second rebuilding year under Billy Napier, especially if you do look at it as the like an ideally optimistic, like a realistic optimistic way. This year is a solid year, and then we have Graham Mertz come back for the following year, and we have a solid year that we can compete in. Who was it? Someone said, what was it? Andy Jean, the freshman, saying he's like a Joe Burrow, like whatever. Obviously, that's hyperbolic, but Joe Burrow was average his first year at LSU, and then his second year he came in and lit the world up. The Gators beat Joe Burrow his first year at LSU.
So
I think Gators fans need to look at this year as another rebuilding year. If we get 4 losses, that's a solid year.
Sure.
Going into the next year and bring a defensive coordinator back, coaches back, and yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Look, I think that's what we were talking. We had what was his name, Jacob, on, and he was saying that that's unacceptable for us to be happy with 9-4 or 4 losses. Look, I think what you're saying is look, we have to understand where we're at right? Where the system's at and how it's working on building back up. So I would be ecstatic with a 9-4 season. Again, those 4 losses, who are they? Probably Georgia. I think LSU is going to be a tough one this year. Florida State, unfortunately, is going to be a tough one, even though they suck. Bunch of shitty ass fans.
I wouldn't be surprised if we beat Florida State, to be completely honest with you.
I don't either.
Right?
Yeah, I don't either. Florida State's skimmed by the skin of the teeth. And this is where Florida, like, I'm glad. I mean, it's Steve's only Florida State fans that have the balls to call in, because this is kind of where they're at. They're a little cocky.
I like it. They're out. I'm from Philadelphia, so
I live
I'm
on this channel.
Surrounded by the SEC crowd. So I do like hearing the other opinions, especially from Hallie calling in and saying that he's a Florida State fan.
Well, he's on the show too. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that.
Yeah, but this is uncut. This is uncut, Holly. So he's finally having some balls. Finally.
I'm raw dogging. Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't mind FSU coming in talking shit. Like, you should be, right. You go 10-3. Now, mind you, you lose to
10-3. They didn't win beat a ranked opponent though.
Yeah, and that was what I was getting at, right? You lose to 10-3 ribless Wake
right.
Forest. You lose to NC State, who loses their quarterback this year. So what's going on there? You lose to a mid Clemson team, and then you get to beat up on a 6-6 team in the bowl game. Like, it's not like you're out here knocking the socks off. I feel like I'm kind of so discombobulated from the argument with Steve prior to this of like him yelling at us because we're in defensibility. Like, I'm a little confused on that situation because.
Yeah, and Steve, another thing too is with Florida State. Do you see you guys have like a slim window like this year with Jordan Travis? After that, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, that we've talked about that on the cast multiple times. I really do not have any faith in what is in the next level behind Jordan Travis. And another thing of why I'm a little bit skeptical of all the hype that FSU is getting, Jordan Travis is a little bit injury prone. He got injured in the Louisville game. He was able to go to the sidelines, and we pulled that game out of our ass. He luckily it was a minor injury and he came back. But that being said, we found out very fast that there is nothing behind Jordan Travis, and Jordan Travis is prone to injury. So there is nothing really for 2024. So it's going to be a situation where we have to go back to the portal.
I love this right here because I was just about to say this, what Alex said. This FSU team reminds me of the 2020 UF team where you got to have a little more of a crescendo, I feel like than we are, but you're at a point where you're at your peak. But what's behind it?
Nothing.
So
nothing.
so you're gonna hit the top. You're gonna hit the top and then fall flat on your face. Willie Taggart's gonna get fired. You're gonna get a new coach coming in, and then you're gonna be in this. You could see the same situation, and you're like, well, Willie Taggart left us with nothing. He was just a Portal King guy, right? Like, he recruited like dog shit. Blah 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 blah. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? You're gonna say the exact same thing. Yeah. What do you mean? Don't roll your eyes at me. What do you mean?
And
that's exactly what's going to happen.
We've got 3 4-star quarterbacks coming in. We're good. We're all right.
There is a zero. You have zero proof of what Willie's been able to do with quarterbacks. Jordan Travis is not his guy.
Why do you call him Willie? Willie Taggart isn't our coach. It's Mike Norvell.
I'm sorry, Norvell's quarterback. Norvell's quarterback history is what?
I don't know. He was at Memphis for a long time.
I got the fucking name
what
wrong,
do you want me to do?
You know what I meant. You know what I'm talking about.
He was winning games at Memphis with quarterbacks that you couldn't remember. Like, shit, he'll do it now. Jordan Travis was a name you didn't know 2 years ago. Look at him now.
We won't know. We won't know at the end of this year either.
He'll figure something out.
We won't know his name at the end of this year either. He ain't no Heisman candidate.
Look, it's fine. Look, we had 2,000-yard rushers this year. 2,000-yard rushers.
In my opinion, as a Gators fan, I hope that Florida State has a solid year again this year, so they
keep clapped in November.
And
it's absolutely
and Deion Sanders accepts a bigger job somewhere far away from Tallahassee. As long as that happens, I still think that Florida State's in a backseat behind Florida.
As of right now, you think, like, current trajectory, you think that Florida State is in the backseat with Florida leading the way?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I just said, what do you have after Jordan Travis leaves? I mean, I think that you guys are set
We've
up
got
for
three,
kind of
four-star,
like a one and
four-star
done season.
quarterbacks. I got to pee.
I think you guys are like a boomer bust. Like you might win the ACC, and if you do, that's a great year. I think that if you make the playoffs and you play a good SEC team, you're not going to win. But I don't know. What do you think? I think that Florida State is a solid team. I think they're about where Florida is, but I think that Florida has a better trajectory with Billy Napier and bringing like DJ Lagway in, where, like I said, I don't know who Florida State necessarily has in the future.
So right now they have Tate Rodemaker is the backup. I would not say that guy is going to be the future of FSU quarterback. We have Luke,
another transfer guy, you'd imagine.
We're going to have to probably rely on that. Yes. So we have Luke Cromenhook, who is really who I think is going to be the future of FSU quarterbacks. However, he's a 2024 guy. He's a 4-star kid. He's an athletic guy. He's got a ton of high school accolades. He's won his own championships. He's done his own thing. We are very, very confident in the athletic ability and what he can do at the quarterback position. However, he is at least a year to a year out. Maybe a year and a half, right? Maybe that year plus, that year plus 6 games before we get to see whether or not he's ready to go. He's not going to be the Jameis Winston that walks out there freshman year, chucks a dime on his first game. That's not going to be what we have. So we're going to likely end up in the portal. Now, let's be honest. I mean, if FSU ends up in the portal for a quarterback, does anybody listening? Let me just reel this in for a second. Does anybody listening right now think that if FSU is in the market for a quarterback next year in the transfer portal, that they don't get who they want? The number one quarterback out there, I promise you, who if FSU wants a transfer guy at the quarterback position, they're getting the guy.
But brother, is he better than Cade Kublik?
Klubnik? Oh, I don't know. We don't have to be better than Klubnik.
What do you mean? Don't you have to win the ACC or no? That's not your goal?
Well, sure. Yeah, but I mean, quarterback alone doesn't win the ACC.
All right. Well, Clemson's got a better
so if you get the number one quarterback in the transfer portal, I mean, that does. I mean, what does that translate to?
Oh, it gives us a bridge between what we have now. It gives us that almost like what we were talking about for Florida.
Yeah, but what if the number one quarterback in the transfer portal? I mean,
Florida State is still in that like mid tier where like they're not at Clemson's level yet.
Not yet.
So,
you're right.
So you still have to win the ACC, assuming like you still have to be the best team in the ACC before you can compete for a national championship, right?
Correct. We would have to beat Clemson, if not once, but twice, in order to.
So if you guys bring this guy in, but he's not as good as Cade Kublik and Clemson's a better team overall, like do you think a 3-loss season with one of the losses being the ACC championship's good enough to give you guys enough like a playoff run, maybe with a 12-team playoff? Yeah.
Well, in a 12-team, yeah. In a 4-team, no. We would have to lose to Clemson.
But if you're not good enough to win to make it in the 4-team, do you think you're good enough to beat a team?
Oh, anything can happen in a 12-team situation for sure. For sure. The hardest part about a 4-team playoff is getting into the 4. Right? Then you got to play the big boys. Don't get me wrong. That's difficult enough in itself, is playing inside the 4. The hard part, the really hard part, is being able to get into the 4. If you can get into the 4, hell, you got a shot. Look at Ohio State and what they did to Georgia. Georgia.
I agree with getting in the 4, but didn't we just agree that it's going to be tough for Florida State to get in the 4 if they can't get past Clemson in their own conference?
Well, yeah, but that being said, the way the ACC is set up,
if Clemson's better than Florida State, and then you also have Georgia,
that means that they would have to beat us twice, and that's unlikely. I think that's unlikely. My worst scenario is that we beat Clemson in the regular season. We have to rematch Clemson in the ACC, and then they beat us to knock us out of the playoff. That's what I think will happen. That's more likely to me.
I agree. And this is the other thing. I think I said earlier, I'm from Philadelphia, so I'm not like necessarily around the southeastern area where the college football is big and everything like that. So I don't have that big of like a hatred and rivalry for Florida State and Georgia and everything like that.
You will.
So like if Florida State beats Florida, I'd like to see Florida State win just because it makes Florida look a little bit better at the end of the day, everything like that. But
you shut your mouth.
All right, yeah. So Georgia in the national championship, you don't root for them or no?
This past year, I was in a weird scenario. It was a weird one. I got a lot of flack for it. I think I ended up going with the Horned Frogs on it, to be honest with you.
You did. You were actually horn frogging people when they were leaving the office.
Yeah, you're right. So sometimes I see red, and I don't remember what I did, but I did.
Yeah, see, with me, like I said,
and that's why I'm
here.
here.
Rivalry hatred is not there. Where I go, University of Florida #1, SEC #2, and then after that, go Gators.
Hey, So your name's Crim Dingo? What's your actual name?
Yeah, Crim Dingo. I went to Temple.
Okay. I don't know what Crim Dingo is. Is that a thing?
It's my name.
Okay.
All right. Like actual?
Close.
All right. We're keeping it hush. That's fine. I will never cheer for FSU, Crim Dingo. There isn't a scenario on this planet. We did this game. LSU, Ohio State, Florida State would be.
I'll give you a scenario where you'll cheer for them. All right.
Go ahead.
Florida State is playing Georgia in the playoffs, and the winner is going to play Alabama. And
Georgia. Easy. What next?
Okay, even though that Alabama would steamroll Florida State.
I don't care. Georgia. I don't want Florida State to be able to, because then I have to hear Steve, we made it to a national championship. Shut the hell up. No, Georgia. Next. What else?
Yeah, no, so I hear you there. That's why I say I don't have that, like the people around me, Penn State fans. I hate Penn State because I'm from Pennsylvania, hate Penn State.
Agree with
that. How could you hate Penn State? Like, Penn State doesn't do anything.
Well, how can you not? I don't know. Have you ever heard of Jerry Sandusky?
If you've been in Pennsylvania before, and you didn't go to Penn State.
Crim Dingo, we'll do it. We come do a weekend with Steve at a Florida FSU baseball game. You'll change it real quick. I promise.
Yeah, I'll try.
I'm sure Penn State fans are assholes. I can only imagine. They're irrelevant, so I don't even care. You can't even. Penn State.
I mean, they're better
irrelevant
than Florida.
They're irrelevant in Florida. That's the problem with Florida fans.
They're better than Florida right now.
They're better in Florida.
They're in the same tier, but right now they're better than Florida.
I can't argue with you because obviously they finish in the top 25. But if we're talking about who they're playing week in and week out, no.
They have 2 tough games every single year and they lose them.
Okay, so it's Florida. It's Florida State. It's Florida State Junior. Like, no, like you play 2 tough games every year and you can't win. So you're mid. You just exist. You're just a placeholder for the Big Ten.
It's good.
This is what I tell my friends every single day.
Yeah, tell them, like, let them know, like they're mid. They're like, congrats, you are 3rd in the Big Ten forever and always, and you're probably going to slide down to number 4 now in Nebraska with Rule coming into play. So now
I disagree with there. If anything, I think that Penn State takes a step up this year. I think Penn State's going to surpass Michigan soon.
Not a chance in hell unless Jim Harbaugh leaves.
There.
I don't think so. Penn State,
if we're putting things in perspective here, I'm going to tell you right now.
Penn State's, they've been doing pretty good in recruiting. I think they've been doing better than Michigan, to be honest with you, the last couple of years, especially with Jim Harbaugh. The questions of him going to the NFL and everything. Penn State they got a 5-star quarterback that's going to start next year. They are the one team that might have a better running back room than Florida with the young guys. They have Singletary and Kayshawn Allen from IMG on their roster, and they were both true freshmen last year, both playing really well. And they got Drew Aller, 5-star quarterback, coming in. I think
Penn State fan or a Gator fan? Like, what the fuck?
I don't
so
lost right now.
Holy shit, dude! Like, what?
Did the whole dynamic of this conversation just change?
Yeah,
get
the lion dick out of your mouth. I don't believe you anymore. Like, what the? You're over here giving me like background checks.
That's why he won't tell us what his name is. It's like a convolution of like 9 teams.
Yeah, for real.
I like everybody.
I'm over here looking. I'm like, holy shit, he's right. Penn State over here finishing 13th, 9th. I'm like, holy fuck, what the hell's going on here? This guy's not kidding. Like, Penn State's slowly getting it done to just choke every year. Like, what the hell? Nebraska beat them in 2020, but I just don't look until Penn State proves me wrong, right?
That's not the first thing that choked in Penn State.
Hey, Coach Pops, who you calling me a troll? You in here trolling the chat right now. I don't want to hear shit. Don't be calling me a troll. You got your ass clapped to Madden, okay? Don't be coming in here talking smack. You be talking shit and you got your ass clapped to Madden. Don't we put 50 on you again.
I see him.
All right, Sean, who do you think's winning the starting quarterback job? Is it obviously Mertz or who?
I look, Jack. I was a big fan of Jack going into the spring ball last year. He pissed me off at the ball game. I don't care if we had the fourth string in. He just looked like he was in shambles out there. So I think it's Graham without a doubt. I'll tell you at the orange and blue game who it is. I could tell at the orange and blue game, even though I didn't want to believe it, that Lorenzo wasn't going to be the guy, but just from sheer size and the way that Montreal was running. But I'll be able to tell you right away who it's going to be. We'll see. I think it's going to be Graham, though. I really do.
All right, yeah, I love to hear it. All right, boys, thanks for having me on. It's good talking
to
you guys.
Dude, honestly, Cram Dingo, you're gonna get a vote for probably like one of the top call-ins of the night. Like I've had some great call-ins tonight, but you were like low key, like you were grilling Holly, which I went and peed for like a good 10 minutes.
Slowly. It's like a slow burn. Like, what the hell
grilled him for like 5 minutes, which I really appreciated. And then you had some like needed knowledge for Penn State. Shout out to the Penn boys, but appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, before I go, I just want to say one thing. I
gonna blow his load.
Penn State. I don't like Penn State. I was at the whiteout game this year because I got free tickets, and it's like you can't.
It's a great game.
That's you can't give that up. It's a nice atmosphere, guys. It's a nice atmosphere.
It looks great on TV. I can't imagine
it looks fun.
It's probably amazing.
I don't honestly have no hate for Penn State. Like I know they've got like a weird thing with. Never mind. I don't have any hate with Penn State.
No. They got a weird thing. Don't get them wrong.
Yeah. All right, but I appreciate you calling.
All right, boys. I appreciate it. Keep doing buddy. You guys. You guys do a great job. I love listening to you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
What a fucking legend.
I mean,
I hate now that the call-in show, like my alone time. I have you on Wednesdays. What the fuck do you want, Brian Smith? I was just about to add you to the show, bro. Why did you leave?
Oh,
God, you guys are impatient as hell. Like you just can't wait for 5 minutes. Like.
I mean, you're watching the other guy. You can hear the other guy.
You see what we're doing here? It's not like
it's a slow. You gotta let him go easy, right? You can't just cut him off, guys. If you're in the waiting room and you're listening and you're watching the show, hell, I was in the waiting room for 15 minutes. It's my own damn. It's my own damn channel.
Shut up, Steve. How's the quality here on StreamYard? We don't pay for it yet because I've been trying to play around with it. Like I'm gonna still use my thing, but I like how we can pull the comments up. I love the way that it looks. Like it just
I like that.
tickles my butthole pink. But how's it look for you guys? How's the consumption for the fan base? I love how Soderquist is in here at 11:30. Like we got the whole squad in here, like just vibing out.
Just firing off, maybe.
Like it's Thursday, bro. We've been rocking like 100+ in here. I don't know how many likes we're at, but we better have over 100 likes, or I'm throwing hands.
See, I don't even know how to see the light. How many people are in the chat? I'm so confused on what this is all.
Cam Bishop, what's up, baby? We got to meet up, man. Where's our meeting at, Cam? Shit, bro. Did you see the freaking $200 dono from Hoof?
No.
He donated 100, and then he donated another 200
tonight.
Yes.
Where in the hell is he?
He left. So what happened, how it started is Hoof comes in here talking shit all the time, right? And so I was like, Hoof, you need to call in. Quit being a little bitch, right? And then he goes, I'm too old to call in. And then Buddy drops a $300 dono. I go, Hoof, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, bud?
You can tell us look, we'll send an oxygen tank wherever you need it, bro. We're the wind beneath your wings.
Yeah. What's up, Q?
Hey, what up? Steve, man, man, I can't believe you, man. You know good and damn well Kirby walked into got a Bentley.
Thank you.
You know Florida was a crap.
Real quick, Cam, real quick, before you continue, I don't know if Steve was here. Q and I were arguing earlier about we were against one another. So you have now brought us together for this. So I just want you to know, just want you to know.
Look, I was watching this earlier. I got off work. I was watching the show. I was like, what the hell did Shelton do? What did he get himself into? I jumped in.
I've been holding my own.
Look,
I've been holding my own. And you're the only FSU fan that called in, and no Miami fans, because they don't exist, have called in.
Shelton, you should have kept reading him the classes for 2019 and 2020. I know him off the top of my head. Freaking the Russell kid was he couldn't play because his problem or his non-contact or non-football injury or whatever.
There's a lot of the kids from the class that never even saw the field, and then the rest of them left.
And then the one kid, he couldn't get a visa or whatever, or he couldn't get a visa or whatever. Then the other kid, it's like freaking 10 kids in that freaking in those classes that never. Oh yeah, and then what was it, Jalen Jones? That fiasco. Oh, you forgot about him.
Hey, Q's back on the good side. People love Q again.
Dude, I can name it off the top of my head at least like 10 to 15 that never even touched the field. They never even got there. So you keep naming all these. Well, you guys didn't have all. You guys got talent. That talent never even touched the damn field. It never even touched the field.
All right, so let's go through let's go through 2017. Let's just break down. So where do we want to start? 2017? We want to start at 2017?
Let's go. I got a good number.
All right, so we got 2017 Florida football commits. Let's go.
Okay.
James Robinson, wide receiver.
Hold on.
CJ Henderson. I don't know. I feel like that guy might have played a little bit.
No.
CJ Henderson never touched the field. All right.
Yes.
Marco Wilson.
CJ Henderson did. Yes. Hold on. The first guy you said didn't.
20. Hold on. What class are you in? 2017, Steve?
He went to 2017.
That's where he wanted to start.
Bro, no, that's why those guys aren't even there anymore. We're talking about like who was Billy was left with. I don't care about 2017. That class is gone.
All right. So where do you want to go? 2019?
Yeah,
that'll probably be a better start.
All right. Let's go there.
Let's go.
All right, so Chris Steele never touched the field. Probably better for everybody involved. So we'll just leave it there. Chris
Elam's
Bogle,
already in the NFL. You skipped Elam.
I did.
Yeah,
but Chris Bogle, because I know that name. Did he ever play?
He was a backup, but he never started.
Okay, so he was just a bust of a player. Okay, cool.
Bust, yes.
But Elam's in the NFL now, right?
Yes, Elam was the only one that succeeded in that whole class. I know off the top of my head.
Let's go to number 5, Keon Zipperer. I believe he's still on the roster,
still
right?
Playing.
Still on the roster, but he might as well say he's a bust too.
Yeah. That hurts right here. Muhammad Diabate.
We already know about him.
He didn't play with Billy.
Summerall.
Transferred. That's my family.
When did he transfer?
This past season. He didn't play it down. So he didn't play. He was behind Ventrell, and then we had Shamar James come in, who took his job, who was Billy's guy. He couldn't even start over Billy's a freshman. Continue.
Right. Continue.
All right. Let's. Okay.
That's why he transferred. And where did he transfer to? Q, do you know? Lori.
Oh, man, I forgot.
None of the guys that transferred outside of the offensive tackles, I think he went to a Power 5 school.
USF.
Now someone to Nebraska. Okay.
He went to USF.
Point noted. Continue.
All right. So then let's go back to. All right. So you got Naquan,
who transferred also to USF, who lost his job to Trevor Etienne, who was Napier's guy, as we were.
Better. And he was better than him. Yep.
He wasn't a bad player. He wasn't a bad player.
The guy never saw the field, bro. He started behind Damian Pierce, and I can't think of Malik Davis. He was behind both of those guys.
He started behind Damian Pierce. That's the other problem that you guys have.
Can I finish?
Damian Pierce was never your own damn starter.
Damian, that was under Mullen.
That was under
Mullen. Billy comes in, makes Naquan the starter. Naquan, who was Mullen's guy, he loses the job. He loses it to Montrell. Then he loses it to Trevor. And then at one point, our boy Lorenzo took his job. That's your argument?
Right.
You're
digging your hole, dude. You're digging your. We just named eight.
Okay.
We just named 8
so we're just gonna take the overall 9th ranked class and just say nope, trash. Whole
It
thing.
was.
That's what we trying to tell your ass. And then you sitting there a few minutes ago saying,
Get him, Q.
well, you guys didn't have talent. You dude, they didn't have them even touch the field.
All right. Well, then we'll flip it this way. We'll flip this thing around here for a second.
Oh, now you want to flip it?
No. I just want to see how this thing went down for Florida State.
Keep naming them. No, keep naming them. Go to 2020 class. They were buzzed.
Bro, nobody brought up Florida State though. Like I don't think like.
Let's just compare apples to apples here, right?
Well, how can we compare apples to apples? Mike Norvell has been there. This is his fifth year that you're or fourth year.
He's going into his fourth.
Okay,
he's going
fourth
into
year.
his fourth.
Okay, so at the beginning of his third year, you were ready to fire this man. Yes or no?
Yep.
No, I said he had to win 7 games.
I'll pull the clip up. We have it recorded.
That's all I asked for.
Pull it.
Because you understood. You were not bought into Norvell. You were talking Deion Sanders at the beginning of the season. I don't want to hear it. You know that.
I said if he didn't win 7 games, Deion would be the coach. That was it. I said 7 games, Mike Norvell stays.
So, but what do you bring FSU up? Nobody is criticizing FSU or talking about FSU. Like you're trying to like connect the two dots here. I
just can't understand how everybody keeps saying that. Like,
we got a Miami fan. Link, hey, call in, please, for the love of God, call in. Links in the bio.
But
I will delete all of y'all. I will delete all y'all out of here.
You saying that Mullen brought all his talent, but majority
he didn't leave the cupboard bare. The cupboard wasn't bare. It wasn't like you had nothing to work with.
That's really my point. Didn't. If you look at it, half of them didn't even touch the field.
None of them did. None of them did.
Out of both classes, I know off the top of my head, out of 2019 and 2020 classes, Elam was the best one.
Who Napier never even saw. He's already in the NFL.
Right. He was the only one that shined out of 2 classes.
How we got into this is
Wingo?
you're trying to say Derek Wingo. Yeah, Derek Wingo's playing.
Let's see.
He finally played. Finally, and look how long he took him to play.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy this year. Yeah. Look, I'm not saying that like every guy, but like 20 guys left the team for a reason, Steve.
Right.
I get it. All I'm saying is,
what's your argument? What's your argument? What are you trying to say?
My argument here is that you guys keep saying that, Billy had nothing to work with.
which we just proved.
I think that's the most retarded conversation ever. Watch what's going to happen. Anthony Richardson is going to end up in the NFL, and within a year and a half, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks that you guys have watched. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, he's a Florida quarterback. No, you guys couldn't figure out how to use the damn dude. You fucking went and lost 7 games with him. That's what's going to happen.
And I already addressed all that. I couldn't agree more with you. I 100% agree with what you're saying on that. Q, I gotta let you go. I got a few guys in here waiting. Brian Smith, you got it. What's up, buddy? Talk to me.
Bye.
What's up, buddy?
All right, there we go. See you later. Let's do this shit. Make my fucking day, Canes football. Just fire me up. You better come in here with guns a-blazing, okay? I got Holly out here talking out of his ass. I'm ready to hear the one Miami fan that exists. I'm surprised that you're able to call in. How's the internet? You at Starbucks?
It's good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay.
What's up, man?
Oh, what y'all want me? My fault. Say it again because I had audio. Y'all YouTube was playing at the same time in my head.
Oh, yeah, no. I did the same thing when I logged in here. No, we're good, buddy. It's we're talking about we're just going back and forth. We're beating the hell out of each other right now. We haven't had a Miami fan on here all night, if I'm correct. So
I mean, y'all just want me to just say something about what y'all like. Just say something about like what I feel about the team going forward.
Talk about it.
Whatever you want, man. We can talk about Miami and how they're going to be mid again. How they're going to be mid again next year. Like whatever you want. We're free.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on the same vibe. That's it. Okay. But anyway, yeah. When it comes down to Miami right now, man. First of all, the offensive coordinator. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know who that is, but I really feel like from the numbers of what he did, I feel like he'll bring something to our offense. I mean, we just struggled with offensive line. Plus, we already had a lot of injuries. That played a part when it came down to the 2022 season for us. I'm just looking for something like, just looking for that structure. Mario Cristobal came in and said that for us to start winning championships, we need to be in that dirt in the trenches. And I like what he brought in for the trenches, to be honest with you. From what he brought in when he first came in, and then to the recruiting that he brought in with Ruben Bain, and then our 2 5-star offensive linemen, top offensive in the country, and it looks like it could be great with that. I just want to see the results on the field, to be honest with you, man. I really have hope that we could do a little bit better than what we did last year.
Sure. So let's go down the list of some of the targets that Miami had at the offensive coordinator position, and then we'll talk about it. So James Coley, the wide receivers and offensive coordinator coach at Texas A&M. Your thoughts on him? He did not consider the position. UNLV, the offensive coordinator out there. Tommy Rees was originally reached out to by Cristobal, and he ended up taking the OC job out in Alabama. And I think you guys ended up with, gosh, what is his name?
This is making me go to sleep.
Like,
what are we doing here? So, my what's your name, bud? Miami fan.
My name Kane Football Talk, man.
That's okay. That's where we're going with. All right, Kane Football Talk.
Yeah.
So, what is Miami back, or are you a reasonable Miami fan?
I'm a reasonable Miami fan, bro. I wouldn't say we back, bro, but we back to work. Put it like that.
Of course, the only Miami fan to call in is a reasonable, respectable one. Like this, I was hoping some crazy people would call in. No, you're good. No. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Look, I think it's good to have a healthy conversation. I think it's good to have a healthy conversation. Who do you? So look, you're in the ACC, which stands for a crappy conference. Who do you think? Who's going to win it this year?
Who's going to win it this year? I feel like it's Clemson. Honestly, they could do it. I feel like they haven't fell off. I mean, sometimes they have minor setbacks, but I feel like, you can't put back Clemson. At first, there was one point I thought Wake Forest was going to do something when they were doing what they're doing. Florida State, y'all doing what y'all doing, but this is where I become talking shit, is because y'all only did it 1 year after 4 years, and now all of a sudden y'all ACC championships. I don't see that. But I see y'all still doing good or whatever, man.
Hey, quick at it for both of you. Who wins the ACC first, Florida State or Miami?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Hey, tough.
Because with Miami, man,
it's not tough. It's gonna be Duke.
Oh man.
I don't believe Duke we won't be in the ACC by then.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we'll be going by the time Duke wins the ACC championship. I don't see them winning. Nah, man. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Cristobal, man? So, Cristobal had I mean, look, not to beat the hell out of you here, but Cristobal had about the worst year imaginable for a first-year coach, with all the hype that he had coming in. I know he's done a hell of a job with the recruiting thing. You got the blank check with Mike Ruiz at the bottom of it. So what do you think? Does Tyler Van Dyke, two parts, does Tyler Van Dyke come back and actually be a quarterback? Does that make Miami go into? Are you bowl relevant? Are you an 8-win team?
As far as
where are we at?
As far as bowl relevant, I feel like we bowl relevant. I feel like long as Tyler Van Dyke's arm, shoulder, or whatever issue that he had with his shoulder injury during the season, he gets that together and he's able to be coming back functional 100%. I believe we have a shot at the bowl. I believe, honestly, I say we will have reasonably 8 wins. I give us 8 wins. Anything over 8 wins, I don't, would surprise me, and it would be it would be great too, obviously. But I give us 8 wins. I see us going to a bowl game. But even if Tyler Van Dyke's not hurt, to be honest with you, I do believe in Ja'Cory Brown. I believe, it just was a crazy season for us last year, man. That's how I feel, man. It was just crazy. People trying to figure out people trying to, figure out who needs to be in what position, and if this person fits, all this stuff like that, man. And it's like we were just everywhere. Then on top of that, like I said before, when I first came in, injuries, that played a part. So now we switching players in other positions that they ain't ever been Like they ain't really been playing like that all season, and it's like, getting beat up out there. You get what I'm saying? How I feel, I don't feel like how I feel now after going through what I went through in 2022. I just don't see us. I can see us only going up from here, man. It's gonna take slow time. I'm not saying.
I mean, yeah, the bottom is pretty easy to climb up from.
Yeah, I don't see us at no bottom, man. I believe, as far as like Mario Cristobal, like I said, I believe this is his first year.
Yeah,
give him his time.
he won't get fired up, baby.
He's not taking.
I love it.
I love it. Hey, Kane, I appreciate you calling in, though, Bubba.
Hey, real fast
man.
before Kane's football, before you go, man. So look, Florida and Florida State play every year, right?
Okay.
But as a Miami fan, what do you root for? You have three options here. Is it Florida? Is it Florida State? Or is it a missile that hits the stadium?
A missile that hits the stadium.
Come on, Steve. Is it Florida or Florida State?
I just want to see. I wanted to see
Florida
what
or Florida
the
State
level was.
Honestly, my answer to y'all is my answer is y'all is orange and green. I give a shit about who wins. I'm okay. I don't be real with you. I really don't even watch the game.
I respect that.
I don't even care. I'm a real Kane fan.
Hey,
yeah,
if Miami and FSU are playing, I'm going for Miami. That would have been a better question for Kambingo. Hey, but
right.
Yeah, man. You have a good night, man.
I guess. Like,
it would have always been the Canes back in the day, but they pissed me off. I hate them now. But he was a cool guy. That's why I like Kane fans. But most of them are like that. They're not assholes like you.
What? All of a sudden, I'm an asshole.
Hey, relax. Is this Dom?
Hey, shut up. Shh. You hear me?
Yeah, I fucking hear you. You can't tell me to shut up. I mean,
why are you whispering like it's like? Are you
hiding?
He's like
complaints to me. Hey, you goddamn duck races are goddamn rigged.
Dom, when are you gonna sack up and play me in Madden so I can whoop your ass?
What'd you say?
When are you gonna sack up and play me in Madden?
Hey, I want you.
You won't even show your face.
Fucking tone when you talk to me. Okay?
You won't even show your face. You're a little bitch.
I'm in the fucking bathroom.
What do I care? Look at Steve's setup. Steve tried for that.
I can't see shit right now with this fucking phone.
Your wife's gonna kick your ass just like I'm gonna kick your ass in Madden.
You're gonna get kicked off the Discord.
But you keep on talking. Shut up.
Mike Lowry's calling us from the bedroom. Look at this shit. This is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Where's Mike at?
Look, this is unbelievable. Is the wife right there, Mike?
No,
are we
you don't know
having,
this is happening?
Are we having
Mike
like a
is in the
sixum?
same bathroom right now.
Yeah, Mike just left the bathroom. No. All I can see is Mike's shoulders, bro. Are you kidding me, dude? Look at this.
Well, that's all the camera can hold.
I had to call because I saw Dom was on here.
Yeah, man.
This is incredible. Like this is the Discord in real life, boys. Like this is what happens. Why is Dom in the bathroom, bro? Dom does some weird shit, guys. Dom, I'll come back. Shut the fuck up, Dom.
Just shut up, real quick, okay?
I'll come back. I'll look into the Discord, and Dom is literally having a conversation with himself. Nobody's responded to this man in 3 hours, and he just
real quick. Shut the fuck up. I can't fucking hear shit.
I think it's like that in real life too.
Yeah, literally. I think Dom says he has a wife. It's not. It's just himself talking to himself in bed.
Yeah.
He's like,
I can't hear shit.
I said, shut up, honey. Get me a sandwich. Okay.
My shit's all fucked up. I can't hear y'all.
Fucking Dom, dude. Unbelievable, bro. What's up, Larry?
Lowry, baby. What's up, man? You gonna get in trouble for this, or you got a free pass, or how's this working?
my man. He's on the.
You broke up. What did you say? We can't hear you, bro. You're glitching out on me. Yeah, yes, you. You, Lowry.
I'm good, man.
You.
I was talking about Dom.
Oh, bro, I love how y'all play Apex together. Like, so is Mr. Nobody pissed though? Like, what's going on with that?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I feel like you're cheating on him a little bit. Like, I mean, you and I don't talk anymore. So I know that I've slid down the list.
Nah, dude, you guys are still number one. Nah, he can't see, man. And it's affecting his work, because you know what he does at work, right?
No, I don't. No. You guys talk so much, I miss a lot of it.
He inspects semen, like he's a semen scientist. I'm for real.
I can't. I don't know. I'm not. I can't.
I'm for real.
Like for real.
So what part of
No,
what part of science is he into? Yeah.
Have you sent him yours to inspect?
What did he find?
I guess. I can't even say it with a straight face, but I know he's probably watching like, man, god damn it.
I've never seen so much semen with estrogen in it. It's amazing.
Nah, he's a scientist or something. He does something with he's a lab tech or something. I don't know, but yeah, he's probably jealous, man. You know, it's okay though.
I mean, I get jealous.
How does your wife feel about this? Like she's like fifth fiddle at this point, or girlfriend. I don't know if you're married or not. I don't want to assume.
Oh my girl.
That's my bad. I should have known better.
Married, man. I've been married once.
One and done. So how does she feel being fifth wheel?
Well, I'll tell you, she doesn't really she don't really understand English that much.
Where's she from?
When it comes to what we're texting about, she kind of just shakes her head and says, "All right." But I'll try and explain to her like what I'm saying, and she won't get it. She's from Venezuela.
Okay, to be fair, Mike,
I don't. A bunch of gay shit, and she just thinks it's normal talk.
That's just the culture here. That's a thing. You've completely ruined what she thinks is the American culture. This is how everybody is.
That was her introduction.
Everybody want to come here?
That's her introduction is to Lowry. To be fair though, I try understanding your shit and I don't get it, and I speak English, so I can only imagine how she feels.
Well, it's not hard to understand, man. I'm a crew chief by trade, so I've got a pretty foul mouth.
Dude, hey, to be fair, what's up, Wilcox? Good to see. Everybody just pops in there, drops a little dime. Because I was married once when I was young and dumb, and then again later when I was older and still stupid. What's funny, Mike, is like you were kind of like one of the first guys that started following the show, and I mean everyone could see you're a big Army rat, right? Like you're a beast.
I'm in the Air Force. I'm in the
Air Force. Okay, just a serviceman. Okay, like don't correct me on my own show. It's very pompous of you.
He gets very upset.
Yeah. And
hey, if you're gonna, if you say I'm in Army, if you would have said Marines or Navy, I would have been okay with it. But Army, nah, man.
Okay, so you're in.
Scores are way too high for the Army.
Okay, sorry. You're in the Air Force. You're in the Air Force, and I should know that. That's disrespectful on my part. Yeah. I do apologize. I'm trying to make a point, and now you just railroaded the conversation. We have a type here.
Just like you did your wife last night.
You know, wives are off the table, Steve. Moms.
Finish what you're saying.
Moms are okay. We have a type for this show. We have a type. Like a lot of guys will message me. There's another one. I can't think of his name right now. His name's Curry on Instagram. Hopefully he doesn't get mad that I blew him out there. He's yoked just like yourself, and a lot of Army veteran or Marines, Air Force, whatever, like watching this show. And I don't know if it's just because of our nasty mouth, you know, our rowdiness. I don't know what it is, but we have a type, and I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying it's very interesting to see the style of guys that enjoy watching this show. It's fun to see.
I'll be honest with you. I first started watching the show because before I'm not going to say podcast names. I don't want to disrespect them. I'll disrespect them in the Discord, but
fair enough. Appreciate
but when I started watching the show, I forgot what.
I'm back.
Shut up, Dom. Mike's talking.
You shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna shut up.
You shut up, fucking five head.
Go ahead. I muted him. Go ahead, Mike.
Nah, yeah, I don't even think you're streaming about Gators football. I think you're actually doing something blackjack. But yeah, you guys bring a new element to this because it's not like your typical boring, you know, type. Oh, got a new head coach, recruiting. Like you talk more in depth and more interaction with your base, and you can see with the other podcasts, they're starting to do what you guys have been doing with chat, you know, the super chats and, you know, call-ins and all that other stuff. So, but different, man. It's not like, it's not
real quick though. Canes football donated $20. You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro.
He hopped on here for a minute.
He was probably the most respectful Miami.
Holly's never donated. Holly's never donated.
He should have donated that to the NIL.
Right now.
I appreciate that, Canes.
Goodness.
But yeah, I have noticed. It's funny because so clipping things up, clipping up the lives. A lot of the guys are starting. Look, I love it. I think it's great. If they would have asked, I would have told them to do it a long time ago. And I think everyone was like, that's probably dumb when I first was doing it. And this is kind of, again, what I speak to about the young guy coming in, right? They come in with a new mindset and they're not afraid to try stuff. Where the older guys have been doing that's a dumb idea. And they're like, shit, it's working. And then they have to adjust. So look, I like it. I think it's great that everyone's getting involved with it. I think honestly, we should, the other channels should be more involved. Like Sports with Blake, I think he's great. He chit chats with us. Brandon,
Uncle Lou gets on here for a minute and hops around.
I know you guys hit on Uncle Lou though, dude. Uncle Lou's a really good guy. I know he talks crazy and he's obviously a Georgia fan, but he's actually a really cool, down to earth dude. Genuinely.
You can't have trash talking without football, or you can't have football without trash talking.
Yeah, I think it's healthy.
Yeah,
I think it makes it great. Go ahead, Mike.
He's growing on me a little bit, but the one thing I can is Boomer Sooner. That guy is so. I'm sorry, I missed his name.
Yeah, bro. So I get a lot of flack for having him on. I think, look, I love having guys like that on. I understand it. And look, I didn't know who he was from Adam when we had him on the show. Mad props to him. And look, he does a good job. He's in that realm of trolling where it works. And he just keeps feeding the beast. And people just take the bait and run with it. It's like, you hate the guy, but you keep interacting with him.
Watching.
Why? But he creates these fucking polls on his, and I keep voting, dude.
This shit's rigged like a duck race.
I can't stop.
He's good, bro. He's good. I that's why I don't hate on it, because he does a good job with firing people up. And he
the duck race.
Shut the fuck up, Dom. And he takes it like a champ. He takes it like an absolute champ. So that's to me where you earn my respect, because that guy gets railroaded. You got Brandon from Barstool shitting on you.
Well, him and he's got this a thing in common: getting railroaded by fucking duck races. And your shitty ass fucking gameplay in Madden.
Dom, I swear to God, Dom, you bring your little bitch ass on for Madden.
Lower your tone. Lower your standards when you talk.
No, Dom, you're over here sitting in the corner, bro. You're over here watching film how I play.
In the dark, trying to be quiet.
Dom. Shut up. You're over here practicing week in and week out. Lock it in and come play me and quit talking shit.
Shut up.
Yes.
I'm going to get yelled at.
Yeah, because you're gonna go whip your ass.
Hey,
yeah.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
So
that's why he can't play.
Chat, you are looking at a visual dialogue of the Discord. Anybody who is watching this show, get into the Discord. We'll make sure that Shelton puts a link. What you are watching right now is a visual dialogue of what will happen to you randomly at 5 o'clock in the morning. You will wake up to some of the most random conversations. Shut up, Dom. I'm talking.
You shut up.
My head is taking over this.
I will say, I feel bad if anyone has their. I have my Discord notifications on, which is the dumbest thing ever, because the flow of the conversation it's unhealthy. The fact that we're up at 3 o'clock in the morning having and Cody. The problem is we have like random night hours, like Gator versus anybody and Cody. And they're up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you have your old heads like Mr. Nobody, Devil, who wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So the shit never stops. You just got we've got crackheads, we've got lawyers, we've got presidents, and then we've got just normal people all within one community.
Yeah,
and it's just a never-ending shit show.
I mean, that's a whole nother breed in and of itself.
Hey, so Canes football. I have a PS4, so I think we can cross-play in Madden. Follow me on Twitter and shoot me a message. Shut up, Dom. You're a pussy. You won't even play me. Message me. I'll have you on Monday. I've got a Gator player coming on, but maybe you can come on afterwards. So just shoot me a message, and I'm down to have you on for our Madden Mondays. And tell any of your little bitch ass Hurricane fans they want the smoke. They can come get it too.
Yes, sir.
Canes football talk. Once you get on that, do it.
Yeah.
That's probably the only Gator fan I ever heard talk that I actually was like, man, I respect this dude.
Yeah, it's like
he was a good dude. I
loved it, but I was so ready to fire it. I was so ready to fire off on him. I was like, it sucks that he's being reasonable.
Again, and he was.
I argued with more Gator fans tonight than I have anybody else.
I know.
That's why I hopped on here.
What the hell was going on? Man.
Hey, let's do a duck race right now. Let's do one. Let's just do a fun one. Let's do a fun one with us four.
Kiss my ass.
Let's do a fun one with us four. Hold on, let me pull it up.
I'd rather suck the soul out of your asshole than watch the duck race.
Nope, we're gonna do another one. I swear, I hope Dom loses.
I fucking rigged.
Hold on.
So we're gonna have and this is I just want everybody to know this is free entertainment, people. If you're paying for cable, you're an
shut
idiot.
up, Hallie.
Thank you.
I hope your nose hits a doorknob.
It will. It will.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. Shut up, Dom. Golly, not everything's about you.
So.
Like, where's your picture? Like, put.
Can you see this?
Face
I'm
in the fucking dark.
All right, you guys can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it started out. My Dom's name. I put bitch. Hold on. It started out. All right, so you got Mike, Shelton, and then obviously Dom's 4. All right, so 15 seconds. Are you ready to rock? Let's see who's gonna.
I'm sorry.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God.
Holly, you're at the bottom. Dom's the star because I put bitch.
If I win, I get at least your underwear or something.
Do you want it used?
You assume I'm wearing some.
You want the underwear I'm wearing now?
What kind of underwear is
it? Just fresh off the rack doesn't mean anything. They got to be worn.
I'll only do briefs.
Okay. Can you just shut up, Dom?
You shut up, man. Look.
All right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah, shut up. Pay attention.
Can you guys hear it?
Swear to fucking God.
Coming? Please. Please.
Oh, come on,
swear
baby.
Oh, it's
no!
Here I go! Go, Mike! Go, Mike! Go, Mike! Here I go!
Oh, my God. Oh, my fucking God.
Suck it, bitches!
I fucking told you. You know what?
Yes.
I'm fucking making memes after this.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I love that I won. I love that we fucking love that I won.
Yeah, shut up.
Man, what a show. What a show. We're dwindling down by the minute. Alex Compton's
so
still
was
rolling.
shit.
Harry Q. Lee says it's rigged. Harry Leg. That's a new one. What's up? Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, Harry?
Which leg?
Connor Johnson. I hope all the Ducks drown. That's a bit aggressive. It's a bit aggressive.
Oh.
Connor's the only Oregon State fan in the country, and somehow found his way to this
this piece of shit stream.
Like, what am I gonna say to him? Like, I can't talk shit to you. You clapped us. Leave me alone. Yeah. You're it's like a ninth grader picking on a sixth grader. Like, what for? What? You're just bullying me because you can? Leave me alone.
Now you know how I feel, fucker.
Thank you, Dom.
Dom's vocabulary is like 3 pages. It's fucker, bitch. Like what do we?
Yeah, if you take that out, if you take that out, I only know 10% of the vocabulary.
Hey, spend at least 10 minutes on Twitter. Go to his tweets and replies.
I
can't. I'm starting shit.
Read the response to all of his tweets.
I try. I can only read like 3. I read like 2 sentences, and I'm like, what is he saying? Like sometimes they're good, and then sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, I feel like nobody responds back to him because he just mind fucks the person. Like the person pulls up his reply, and they're like, wait, hold on. Bro, I'm lost. Like, I'm
not good at the phone stuff.
He's got an old Nokia, man.
It's the old flip phone.
You're not good at the phone stuff. What are you good at, Dom?
Masturbating.
Not Apex. Not Apex. I'll tell you that.
Shut up. I'll shut the door on you again.
I love this place.
Please.
I can't quit this.
It's like a drug. It's like a drug. All right,
Even
guys,
Ricky,
I gotta get
Ricky, my lord.
My lord.
I know, Ricky.
Why are you still up, Ricky?
Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for using my words.
Well, guys, I for the fact that we've got 50 people in here to watch our 4 dumbasses is a W in itself. But I think.
Shut up, Dom.
I think I had a blast tonight. I appreciate everybody who called in. I think it was a good time. These shows have been nothing but success since we started these. What's up, Papa Stokes? I appreciate the High Top families. I sit here with a disabled quarterback one. I always enjoy the show, boys. We enjoy you too, Bubba. I love it as always. Tomorrow, again, I will be on Round the Table Sports at 5:30 when they go live. So if you guys want to come out, hang out, by all means. Yeah, great idea, FS Fanatics. I think Mike Lowry gave me the idea to do the call-in show. So thanks, Mike, for that. And then and then later on that Friday or later on the night, we're gonna be playing Blackjack Live. Lowry's gonna join us. Lou might be joining us. I don't know. He says his kids are getting their wisdom teeth pulled out. I was like, why didn't I ask them if they wanted to play? I asked you. But we'll see. Either way, we're gonna have a good time tomorrow. We're gonna hang out if you guys want to come chit chat. It's basically this, but we're gambling and being degenerates and drinking and having a good time. So love you guys as always. You guys have a phenomenal night. Dom,
love yous.
No. Lowry, you can hang up. Like we'll send you off.
Yeah,
with
Mike
the,
Lowry's
with the,
gonna
with
Mike Lowry's gonna exit the right way. Let's hold on.
Hey,
Dom. Fuck off. All right, boys. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Later.